They just
Hello.
30 minutes ago they released the trailer for Star Fox, so I put that in the podcast.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that was a really good trailer.
No, they didn't.
They actually have.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
It's on the docket.
The docket.
No, they haven't.
They have.
No, they haven't. I don't believe you.
It's the reveal season, Will. They revealed the game.
I don't know what to tell you. They actually have.
Oh, you got undone there by the Google Doc preview.
Oh, fuck.
When I hovered over that link, a big picture of Rick Astley came up.
I fell for it, so you have to as well.
you say there's a new Star Fox trailer, like I don't have every avenue that could possibly be served to me on watch.
So I looked at the docket and saw that, and my first thought, I don't know why, because I'm on like the precipice of all news basically. My first thought was, "Oh my god, that's awesome! How did I miss this?" And then clicked it. Was like, "I'm an idiot. I'm so stupid."
I didn't even mention it because I was like, "I'm waiting for Will." I'm waiting for Will to mention it. I'm glad I got you at least.
Come on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna grab a drink real quick.
That's fine. I'm gonna edit out all this stuff because I want to keep that part in, and I'm recording. I was like, "Hey, I can carry on from this. That'll be a good start." And now Will's buggered off to get a drink. Maybe I'll keep this stuff in. This is like,
oh wow, behind the scenes.
This is really behind the scenes, right? Will's not here. He's getting a drink.
I mean, the more you talk about leaving stuff in or cutting stuff out, like the more likely it will be to be in, right?
Yeah, it's like meta commentary, right?
Yeah.
Because just by talking about like, will this be in? Will this be out? It's like, well, now it's got to be in because it's kind of goofy and weird.
Yeah, we've said it too much now. Now it has to go in. So this is all the intro to the current episode. Yeah.
Welcome to the weekly podcast, everybody. Welcome back to the Game FourCast.
Welcome
back. The weekly gaming podcast where we all get together and we chat about what we've been playing all week and the favourite stories that have popped up that we found interesting. My name is BottlerWorks, aka Josh. I'm here with my lovely people, as always, Will Olivemeister.
Hello, everybody. My name is Will. I almost missed this week, but I said, no, Aaron, the world has to know my opinions about the new Diablo game.
What will people do if they don't get your opinion about Diablo?
Exactly.
We're with Steve, Quikwix.
Hey, I'm Steve, and it's morbin time, and I'm going to morb all over the place.
And Sammeh.
Hello, I'm still playing idle games.
Oh, no. God, no. I posted that in the group chat where we sort of organise and get things together. And I saw Sam playing other God knows what idle games. And I just posted the GIF, like, please, no, not again.
When do we hold the intervention?
The secret is, right, once one becomes more automated, you just start up another one.
Oh, it's never ending. How are you all doing? How have you all been this week? You had a good week?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I went and saw people, and I met someone who I've known online for a while, but never met in real person.
Oh,
and I met him in real life.
Did it all go
Jared Leto.
Yeah, Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that? Because we said by Saturday it would be dead, right? And people would be sick of it. Are people?
Morb.
Is the morbing joke still going? Is that still good?
It is because of Sony re-releasing it.
It's been given a new life because people were talking about this film online so much that Sony put it back in theaters, and then predictably nobody went to see it. So they just lost a whole bunch more money on
Friday. It made 85 grand in total.
Yes, so ridiculous.
Well, 85,000,085,000.
What were they thinking? Seriously,
I don't know.
I still haven't watched it, even though it's on
No
Twitch
revive.
24/7.
Yeah, but the people making morbid memes are not. They don't want to see this movie. They want to go ha ha morb and then move on.
Yeah. I feel like you need to watch it with a Twitch chat to be like, it's morbin time.
I don't think I'm ever going to see that movie. I refuse to watch it.
We should watch it
Matt
together
Smith's real
on
good.
Twitch.
I wouldn't say he's like the best part, and it's just
that's
having a good time, but he's not great.
You know,
none of that movie is great.
You know what's going to happen next time we have like a big proper in real life meetup, and it's like, oh, what should we watch while we're all eating pizza? We're putting Morbius on. That's gonna happen.
I mean, I'm resigned to it. Yeah.
You accept your fate.
Because so yeah, I guess maybe we should mention that is that like one of the things that happened last week with Morbius was people have co-opted the Artifact subcategory on Twitch.
Yes.
Artifact, the card game by Valve that is since shut down, and
yeah.
people have co-opted that category to go and just do like whatever they want. Really, it's just a meetup place for weirdos, internet weirdos. And so last week there were just a bunch of channels popping up that were streaming Morbius on repeat 24/7, and every time one got banned, another one would step in to take its place.
Yeah, there must always be a Morbius.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, I'm checking the category now, and they're streaming everything, everywhere, all at once. Morbius, Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, it's just whatever. Yeah, just all
Godfather
films,
Part 3, Drake and Josh. Yeah, it's a wild ride.
I'm kind of sad that having everything everywhere all at once played at like 480p on a Twitch stream is probably the saddest and worst way to enjoy that legitimately incredible movie.
Well, at least people are watching it.
I guess, yeah. I was all on board for Morbius being memed, and now an actual movie I like is there. I'm like, I don't know.
No, stop it.
Yeah, stop it.
How do you think Sam feels about Artifact?
You go to that channel right now.
It hurts, man. It hurts.
What were you saying, Steve?
I was going to say, you're going to go to that channel now and report it, being like, no, not on my Twitch.
Yeah, actually, this is illegal. I'm going to have this shut down. As you should, unless it's Morbius.
As everyone should. Yeah,
we respect the rules here.
Yeah. So anyway, I watched Morbius, and it was
where did you watch it again?
At cinema re-release.
Shub Steve. It got re-released on Friday, so I went to see it. No, but I will say it's not a good film. It's not even a fun bad film. It's just bad and boring. But every time somebody on screen died and the Twitch chat erupting with "he got morbed," it definitely added something. I was having a good time.
I've not watched it, and I just love that morb is now the verb to replace any verb. It's like
it's like the new Smurfing.
Yeah.
Wait, what? When was that a thing?
It's like the old Smurf. They go like, "Oh, I'm gonna Smurf you," or I don't know.
Yeah, in Smurfs they do that.
He got Smurfed.
He got Smurfed. Yeah.
I feel like Smurfing good time.
I feel like Morbius has taken the role of like have you ever seen The Room with Tommy Wiseau?
It is kind of. I wonder if it will achieve that kind of like.
Yeah.
No, because I don't think The Room is fun bad, right? It's endlessly quotable. This is just.
Yeah, but it's like there's kind of the stuff like with The Room where people still go to cinemas today to watch it together and like laugh at it and shit like that. And it's like I could maybe see like in like 10 years time, random cinemas doing a one-off show where everyone just goes and shouts "he got morbed" at the cinema screen every 2 seconds.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it's like because I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's not fun. Like it's not a fun movie. It's just really boring.
But he morbs every 2 seconds.
But you can shout morb at the screen every couple seconds. Yeah.
I feel like they'd have to do like a private showing for that. Like you'd have to go to cinema and be like, "I'd like to rent the movie cinema for a Morbius thing."
You have to use code words because it's all illegal and illicit.
The code word is Morbius.
It's like it's all saucy, and you're not allowed to talk about it in real life.
Because in a couple years, Jared Leto will come out having done some kind of crime, and then he'll be, he'll be a taboo, and you can't do anything, can't watch anything done by Jared.
Even if Jared Leto does something bad, you should be able to separate the amazing art of Morbius away from the artist.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, that's
Morbon.
That's Morbon. That's the weekly Morbius discussion. Look forward to more of that next week. What have you been playing this week, Will?
Well, Joshua, I have been checking out a little game called Diablo Immortal. Immortal.
What do you think?
That's not. I read that online. I'm not that original.
Oh, you didn't invent that?
No, I didn't.
We knew.
I've got a lot to say about this as well.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit.
I don't know if I have a lot to say about this because it's like Diablo Light
Yeah.
And it's like it runs well enough on my phone that I can kind of, mess around a little bit. So it's because it's just Diablo and like bite-sized chunks almost.
Yeah.
So that but it also melts my phone.
My phone
so
is
I
like
can't-
a
I
fucking
can't-
furnace when I play this game.
Yeah, I can play it for maybe half an hour, and then I get the low battery warning,
Yeah.
like from full charge or something. So I
there's
really don't.
a thing in the options because the game locked at 30, and I was like, my phone
Yeah.
can run this. So there's like box to uncap it or cap it at 60, and I think the warning is just like, are you sure you want to do this? Because your battery will deplete and your phone will get hot.
Yeah. So it kind of melts my phone, but then when you play it on PC, it feels extremely. It feels like a mobile game that you're playing through an emulator.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Like
not even that great.
Not very good. No, the mouse controls don't work very well. The keyboard controls don't work very well. It's very it doesn't feel super snappy like Diablo did. It feels like your guy is kind of like taking all your inputs as like a suggestion more than like a command.
I have a question though. Did you play with controller? Because I tried plugging in my controller, and it was like not working with the movement. Because like I've heard that Diablo on console is very good because it feels very good with a controller.
It's the best way to play Diablo 3. Yeah, for sure.
So I was like, oh, I'll try plugging in my controller, but it's just my controller I think is fine. I think it's just it doesn't like.
It wouldn't surprise me. It's not a good port.
I'm not gonna like defend this because it's got so many issues, but the PC client of this game is technically in beta, whereas the mobile version is out.
Yeah, I mean, but also you could just not
yeah. Again, that's all I'm going to throw out there in the lightest defense of the PC version.
In fact, when we come to talk about the monetization in a little bit, I almost feel like they would have dodged a lot of this criticism if they just didn't put this on PC.
Yeah. Oh, we said that, but was it like a week or two ago, where it's just like putting this horrific monetization, aka mobile monetization, on a different platform that isn't mobile really brings the scum to the surface.
It has been fun over the last week watching other people's impressions of this. Like primarily PC players will write impressions of this that are like, the monetization, and it's like, not played many mobile games, have you recently?
Well, it makes me worried for the other Blizzard mobile game, that's the Clash of Clans one. I'm like, oh, please don't say that one's going to be as bad.
Well, of course it will be.
It will be, yeah.
Don't even get your hopes up.
Yeah, well, I don't think I'll be able to play it anyway.
Right, so there's lots of ways to attack this, right? So let's push monetization aside for a second. How far into the game are you?
I got to level 46, level 47 or something.
Far. That's a lot further. I got to mid 20s.
I finished the tutorial.
Okay.
So up till around level 30, the game goes at a pretty nice pace. You're unlocking new stuff constantly, and it's showing you all its fun stuff. And then around the end of the 30s, early 40s, it starts going, no, you have to grind to get to the next part of the story, sort of thing. It will say no, you're 42 and the next mission is 45 or something.
Yeah.
And grinding in that game is there are dungeons which are kind of just almost WoW dungeons.
Yeah, I thought that.
Fight some trash, fight some bosses, and then fight an end boss. Go on.
Oh, because I was going to say, just it's been a long time. Was Diablo 3 like that? Diablo 3 didn't specifically have WoW dungeons, did it? It was just bigger areas.
No. But this specifically, it has a portal. It has a meeting stone. It's actually very WoW.
Yeah,
I'm talking about it. Yeah,
you meet up with three random people.
You queue for randoms. Yeah, and then you all just smash a bunch of bosses.
You run in and mash a bunch of buttons, and then you get killed.
Yeah, pretty much. There's also rifts, like in Diablo. There's normal and challenge versions of those, which are just quick mini. They're not quite dungeons. You just sort of go through and fight things as quickly as possible, and then a little boss, and then you get rewarded. So that's sort of the mini bite-sized bits of Diablo you can play through. And it was only sort of when it started to slow down a lot that I was like, actually, I don't think I'm feeling this.
It's a shame because I was hoping that I could kind of coast my way through, the quote-unquote whole game and then stop. But if the horrific grinding is halfway through, or any grinding really,
I don't think it's like horrific, but it's more like by the time I got to 46 and I had been doing like rifts and dungeons and things on
Yeah.
repeat, it shoved so much like, oh, you could, you maybe shortcut this little bit with this 800% value, microtransaction.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe I just won't play it. It kind of it got me wanting to play like actual Diablo 3 again and just check out one of their seasons or something if that's on the cards.
I'm like waiting for Diablo 4. I can't go back to Diablo 3.
But this is like Diablo. It's like, how a game you'll be like, this is Diablo 2.5, except it's not. It's more like Diablo 3 minus 0.5. You know what I mean? Because there's there's no builds. I feel like in Diablo 3 you'd be getting like, here's a spell, right? You level up, get a spell, and you're like, that's neat. I'll try that out. And then 2 ranks later, it'll be like, okay, how about this spell? But it's blue and it does something different or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay. And you're sort of building your character out as you go. This is just like, no, you're playing a Crusader. Here's the skills you get. You're going to be identical to all the other Crusaders. There's not really any builds to make as you level. You just sort of get handed all your stuff. You don't make any like interesting choices.
Yeah, the level I got to, I had I think 2 excess abilities. So as in out of my whole lineup of stuff I could do, I had 2 on the back burner, and then
it's more like
I felt like I could tell like, well, this one seems a lot more powerful than that one, so I'm just not going to use that one.
Oh, actually, I was gonna ask, what classes are you guys playing?
I was Necromancer.
I played Necromancer and then a bit of Crusader just to check out if like progress carried over to other characters. It doesn't.
I played a little bit of Crusader. That was mine.
So out of all the combinations we could have had, we double stacked.
We all picked the same, pretty much.
The
Necromancer is pretty cool looking, to be fair.
Yeah, well, it's like the art's good, but it's just Diablo 3 again. So
I never played the Necromancer in Diablo 3, and I thought, oh, that's probably going to be the most popular. I'd play Crusader.
I will say,
to round it all out, I picked Necromancer.
Oh my god!
Because I was like, well, hopefully I'll just be able to summon pets, and then I won't have to tap as much to attack on mobile.
Yeah.
You definitely can.
That was the strategy.
I was halfway, like I said, I was like 20 something, and 2 of my abilities were summon dudes. One was summon a mage, one was summon little underlings.
I didn't pick it back up after my first play session.
No, I can't really say I blame you. I mean, there's a point. It's just like an anecdote that I felt was quite funny. I thought was quite funny. Is when you first start playing the game, it's very cool looking. I would say.
Yeah.
I feel like it's Diablo on mobile. You got control in bottom left. You can do abilities in bottom right, and it's like, okay, you just play along. And I think there's a bit where you go and talk to Deckard Cain, or you go somewhere, and I think like 50 different, almost like MMO UI elements appear on your screen all at once. Like a chat box appears, a whole bunch of like daily login shit appears, and I was like, oh my god, it was like a punch to the face.
Although, actually, that's one thing I did notice is there were random players in while I was playing. I was like, is this more the most MMOE Diablo?
I think so. Yeah.
Because like 100%. Again, it was like whenever I played Diablo 3, it's always usually like by myself or with friends, and it's like I'm in the world alone. This one is like, oh, there's players around killing stuff. Yeah, stuff respawns, which I don't think it does in Diablo 3, does it?
No, it doesn't.
You have to change map and change back.
Yeah. But I didn't get much from what I played. I didn't get much out of the fact that it was like a mini MMO. All I got out of it was in the main chat hub were English people arguing against Turkish people about whose language should be dominant, and that was about it.
I was the English versus Russia.
Yeah,
I got England versus Russia.
Mine was come to this website to buy gold and stuff.
Oh, what? On like day one?
Yeah, day one spam.
So, yeah, I mean, it's like I said, that punch to the face of all the like UI and MMO stuff made me realize as soon as that appeared, I was like, can we go back to like 3 minutes ago and play like that game instead of what you're trying to feed me now?
And it's a shame because even though I said, it's Diablo 3 minus 0.5, right? That is kind of what I would look for in a mobile Diablo. Like, it doesn't bother me that there's less build diversity or whatever, because I'm not going to be meeting up with other players to to play a bunch of Diablo. You know, I'm not going to grind seasons with my friends like I would on Diablo 3 PC.
Yeah.
So just playing through a Diablo game on my phone, that's kind of novel. That's
you're dancing around it, let's be honest. You play this in 5 minutes bursts when you go to the loo or something, and you just sitting there.
Exactly,
I'm going to play Diablo for 5 minutes and kill a monster and move on.
Waiting for a video to render or something. I'm gonna run a couple rifts and see what I get, sort of thing.
I'm not running clan dungeons and clan raids on this mobile game.
Exactly, yeah. So it's like I could kind of see that, but it's just there was a point where I had been playing through it, and I went to a guy. I was getting all this currency, and I didn't know what it was for. And then at one point, it was like, "Oh, here's this vendor. He spend all your, I think it's called hilts or something," which didn't make any sense to me. But then it was like, "Here, talk to this guy," and I talked to him, and he was like, "You want a random legendary?" And I was like, "Okay." And then I bought it. It popped up in my inventory, and I was like, wait, like, what was the point of the game if this guy is just gonna sell me legendaries? What are we doing?
I had something similar where it was like I boot the game and it was like, oh, good job for pre-registering on the App Store. Here's some cool looking armor. Now you look fucking sick. And I was like, well, now I already look cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I had the same thing. I was like, I turned that off because I was like, no, I want to see what you got for me. Like, I don't want to get
like 15 minutes into this and look fucking awesome. I want to be wearing like rags and have a wooden axe,
purple shoulders, yellow trousers.
Yeah.
So should we talk about the monetization before we move on from this? Because
let's get to it then. Yeah.
There's I don't have the news story for it at hand, but a lot of people are talking about what's the number. It's like 110,000.
110,000 is the ballpark figure people have been knocking about. Yeah, to max out your character.
Yeah, in current state. I mean, there was always going to be a news story like this because I don't think anyone is realistically ever going to spend that much. There are whales, sure.
I bet someone will.
110,000.
There'll be some Diablo Blizzard nut who will have done that.
Jesus Christ.
I have some like views for playing devil's advocate on the monetization.
Yeah.
But like it's still really fucking bad.
That's why, because I was like, people are like, oh, it's going to be pay to win, and I'm like, I don't, whatever. It's it's Diablo. What am I paying to win in Diablo?
That's the thing,
right? That was my attitude going in, and then, but like the more you play it, it's just so relentless in all of the ways it wants you to buy things from it. It's like you can't go 5 minutes without a pop-up telling you like, hey, you want to get some gems, some orbs?
The ones that stood out to me was, I think you turn the game on and it says you want to buy a first-time chest for 89p.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that will grab a lot of people, I think. Just 89p, whatever, I'll buy that. And I think I finished the first, like, quote-unquote world or area, and then it said like, hey, you want a unique one-time purchase box for that area, and it was more. It was like 3 or 4 quid. And then I think straight after that, it was like, oh, by the way, battle pass, obviously. Here's the battle pass. You're going to pay for that. And it was just like, come look at this currency. Come look at this set we've got. And I was just like, oh man, just
and like every step of the way, it's like, hey, you want to try a little bit of that premium crack? And then you do it. Like it'll give you this like, here's this legendary stone that you can run a rift with and get a cool bit of gear. Yeah. And then it's like, you want more of that? Pay up, boy.
First hit's free. First hit's always free.
First hit's free. It just never ends. It's ridiculous.
And you said like it's not really like there's what's there to pay to win at, but this is the Diablo, but they've added PvP. There is PvP in this game.
There is. Yeah.
It's like PvP in Diablo 3, but
there was meant to be,
technically,
Well, there was meant to be like a whole like arena system in Diablo 3, but they cancelled it, right?
I think it was. Did it cancel or did they just delay it?
Cancelled it so much as they promised it and then never delivered. But
yeah. I remember playing Diablo 3 when it came out, and they were like, next time for sure. Next update, we promise. It's coming soon. Any day now. And it never happened. Yeah. I mean, what more can you say? We kind of knew it was going to be like this, I guess.
It's just how much there is avenues to spend in this is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like all, there's like another version of this where it's like all cosmetic. You just buy cool looking bits of year or something, and it would be
the thing
fine.
is, you can shove however much of whatever they want in it to buy your way to max level, buy gear, whatever the fuck. As long as it's just not thrown at you constantly,
Yeah.
just in your face and shiny new buttons every hour saying, "Oh, here's the new deal for this" and shit like that. If you can just play the game and it's all still there, but you don't see it because you've chosen not to do it, and you're like, well, I'm just not going to interact with that store button, so now it's just a Diablo game. Yeah, you can't do that.
It's a very fine line that you have to walk, because there's one side of the line which is like, I understand that I'm playing this for free, and they need to make money, and then there's the other side of that line where, knowing how egregious mobile games can be, I'm sort of like, well, I know you're doing this because it's not targeted at me. It's targeted at some poor sod that's going to spend $5,000 this month on this game.
Compared to mobile games made like in the East, specifically China, this game is not as bad as it could have been. Well, and I think that is a fact that like goes well above everyone's heads.
Oh, it can always be worse.
Oh well, I mean,
to justify anything, I want to make it clear.
This game though is worrying though, because this game is actually banned in the Netherlands and Belgium because of the gambling laws. And previously, like for Overwatch was banned, but they changed Overwatch so in those countries it's different. Like you can't get the loot boxes in Overwatch. But for Diablo, they were like, no, we're just not doing that. Like, you're just not going to have it. So it is worrying that they're like, they weren't even willing to compromise on that for those two countries. They just don't get it.
We're just going to erase that market and just ignore it.
Because they probably looked at, like, realistically, they looked at that and went, oh, how much are we going to lose? And it's absolutely a figure that they do not care about.
We compromise the entire fuckery that is our monetization to make point something % of revenue just in these two countries, as opposed to having to, I don't know what the laws are, but I assume it's something in the realm of either no loot boxes or more exposure of the underlying numbers.
I think you're not allowed to online.
It's basically
gamble.
any kind of gambling in those countries.
So instead of making some weird loop around systems, just like no.
It just goes to show, like, this game is egregious for monetization, and even for that little bit of good faith, they could have been like, oh, for these two countries, we're doing something different. They're like, no, like it's like, Blizzard, you needed some good PR. This game ain't giving it to you. It's just.
But I just don't think they care. I think they're going to laugh all the way to the bank with this one. We can kick our heels and be like, "Well, I'm not spending money or uninstalling or whatever." But it doesn't matter. People are dropping millions in this already.
The only good thing that's come out of this is a fair large community have now realized, oh shit, like if this becomes the norm, this is bad.
Yeah.
But it's not like Diablo Immortal was not new. This is nothing new. It's just because it's Blizzard, it's just more in the spotlight.
Yeah.
And these types of games don't come over to the West that much.
Yeah.
I
think it's a shit. It's like, it sucks, right? Because like you said, Sam, it's like I could just, if I wanted to, I could like push past all these like shiny buttons and stuff, because I'm not the kind of person that's gonna get suckered into, it's not suckered, but well, kind of. If it's manipulation and things like that,
it's a combination of like FOMO and psychology and stuff. I'd say suckered is probably an adequate word.
Is a fair term. But it's like you can push past all that, but then it's like I'm still getting to enjoy this experience for free because I know they're roping other people into this like awful system. It's like blood money. It's like I get to play this fun Diablo game because people are actually spending their life savings on it.
That was always
always how I feel about that.
That's always the thought that lingers in the back of your head, and I'm not going to sit here and shame anyone that enjoys playing these games. Free to play.
That's not. There's
Genshin.
People who will drop millions, and they'll that's fine with them. They'll drop $10,000 on this game, and that's either nothing to them or that's just part of their spending.
Yeah, but that is always in the back of my head when I play
Yeah.
like Genshin when it came out for like 20 hours and then leave.
Yeah.
And I'm like, someone paid for that.
This is designed to get people addicted to its.
I mean,
Yeah, so, like I say, when I play Genshin for 20 hours for free, someone somewhere else paid
Someone
for
has to
me
pay for that.
playing that. Basically,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
there are people playing Genshin who, they don't really play. They literally, every time there's a new character, they log on to roll for the new characters, and then they don't play the game. They just want those characters.
But if that's part of their, if that's
Yeah.
how they
Yeah,
enjoy
that's-
spending their money, that's fine.
a lot of people will go to a
True.
casino knowing that they're going to come out without any
Yeah.
money because they
Mhm.
enjoy the experience of going to
Yeah.
a casino, and that's you do you,
That's what I
right?
mean. Yeah, it's nothing new.
Yeah.
It's just Spotlight. I will say,
Yeah.
I remember specifically for Genshin, one of the streamers that I watched called Rich Campbell said that every time he got sponsored to play Genshin, he ended up spending more money on the transactions in the game than he
Yeah.
made from the sponsorship.
So he's in minus
So
every time he
every
comes
ti-
away.
He made the joke of whenever they want money, they come to him.
That's pretty good. Okay, well, I'll move this along. I'm pretty sure we've done this, but
Yeah.
my closing words are: I'm not disappointed because it was kind of everything I thought it was going to be. Like, I'm not surprised.
I'm a little disappointed. I was like, maybe they'll do better.
No,
And it's like,
I-
no.
I knew it in the back of my heart.
It's like everyone has a price, right? Even Blizzard.
Yeah. Okay.
It just makes me worried for Diablo 4 and like the WoW expansion and stuff. Like,
Oh, I think this
No.
this is like not going to affect.
No,
The
this is
actual
purely a mobile
Yeah, yeah.
section.
If this makes you worry about anything, is if you were somewhat excited for that Warcraft mobile game, Clash of Clans.
not the Warcraft mobile game, but yeah.
No,
more just
yeah,
like-
but what we're saying is that's the
Yeah.
thing that is in the realm of actually being affected by
Yeah.
Diablo Immortal.
Mm.
Yeah, because we don't.
This kind of pay to win power level stuff will not be in Diablo 4. Not a chance.
That's the thing, right? Is that there's all these stories. Oh, it costs this much. Monetization is horrible. Blah, 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 blah. But in the background, what we don't see is this game could be doing. This could be making so much money.
Oh, it is.
Oh, it will.
Oh,
yeah,
it
yeah.
is, and it will.
This will be their
And it's-
most profitable game in maybe ever.
Yeah, but board
But-
members of of whatever board, I don't know, they'll be like, oh, this Diablo Immortal is making shitloads of money. Do more of that.
Yeah, but people have been like doom and glooming the games industry for since mobile gaming started, with how
Yeah.
like gacha's going to be everywhere, and it hasn't. It's not really, has it? Like,
I mean, could you put forward the argument that the PC version of this is them trying to slowly creep this into like the Battle.net PC client?
no, I think the PC version of this is a response to people who were probably going to emulate it and then not pay for anything. They'd rather have them. It's like when they did the tokens in WoW, where it was like people are going to buy gold regardless. So we'll just officiate it.
So you mean like
almost.
I'm emulating Diablo Immortal on PC, and the download for the APK is right next to a download for infinite gold or whatever.
Infinite gems. Yeah.
So
Exactly,
I see.
yeah.
I do see. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Mm.
I don't know. It's a little bit of tinfoil hat from me there. Sorry about that.
No. I think it's like something to be aware of, right? Like we saw like loot boxes coming into things like FIFA and all that. But I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think gacha's going to overtake the AAA industry just yet.
No.
Although loot boxes were like a mobile thing, and now they're in like main PC games. They snuck their way in, didn't they?
They are.
Well, yeah, but then they
besides-
sort of snuck their way back out.
I was
again.
going to say, besides a few key franchises, you don't see them a lot these days.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people, they kind of
Battle passes is
They-
the current flavor.
yeah, they flew
And-
they flew too close to the sun with loot boxes, and then I think shoving them in a bunch of single player games like Shadow of War and stuff. People were like, "What are you doing?"
yeah.
And they were
yeah,
like,
exactly.
"Okay, we're clearly offending you too much. We'll back up a little bit, have a battle pass instead," like Sam said.
yeah.
Okay, well let's push on from this. Sam, what have you been playing this week?
See, I've baited you in with the idle game, but I've actually, I am playing through again, kind of, but I didn't finish it the first time, but got fairly way through. Dragon Quest XI.
Yes.
Oh hell yeah!
I love this game. I love this game.
Loved this game first time through. Second time through, I'm trying to not do my normal JRPG grind thing, which I do, which is like, oh, I've got a boss coming up. Let's put the best gear on everyone, and let's go and get like 2 to 3 more levels on everyone, so that we're really make sure we can thrash this boss. Now, this time I'm just trying to go through, not speed running or anything, but just like how easily could I beat some bosses by just actually using brain power and strategy.
You can almost make your own difficulty, right? You can overgrind to make it easier, or you can just try and just go through and then see how you do against each boss.
Right, when you play a JRPG, you don't use like 80% of the spells and abilities you get.
Yeah.
Because it's like Herdar, press the attack button, heal when needed, boss dead.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, if I like poison the boss, like that actually does some damage.
Yeah.
But I've never poisoned a boss before until this game. Because,
my experience with poisoning a boss, my experience with poisoning a boss in any JRPG is I try it and it says miss, and I go never again. Not wasting a turn ever again. What a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, it's simple. So like I've been thoroughly enjoying just like afflicting bosses with status ailments. 'Cause I would never do that.
Yeah.
Unless I knew it was like an exploit, quote unquote, for certain bosses.
Yeah, like healing a boss
that I've played multiple times. Yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just I'm playing the Dragon Quest S.
Yes, I've brought a picture of that up for anyone watching, because I that's the definitive version, right? It's got some more post game stuff and quality of life stuff.
It's got also like a whole extra like. There's a mini game I'm playing where I'm going around and I gotta collect past words. That's passwords, but with a T.
Oh, okay.
And then that lets you travel the worlds of previous Dragon Quest games to get stuff.
Ooh, that's
I haven't actually done that yet. I'm just still collecting the words, because you collect them and that opens up more dungeons and stuff.
So I have a question. This game is. It came out in 3D and then they released like a 2D mode for it, right?
Yeah. The 3DS version I think had the 2D version. Yeah.
Are you playing it like in 2D now when you played the original one 3D, or
I'm still playing in 3D because the 3D is just so nice. The 2D just has its charm, but like there's like jumping puzzles and stuff every now and then to get like loot and stuff, and it does feel better in 3D. That's what it was made for.
Can you flip to 2D in this version?
You can chop and change 3D to 2D.
Could you do that in the original?
No, the original didn't have 2D.
No, this was definitely added in the special version.
Is it like a one button thing, like the Halo anniversary stuff?
It's at every save point.
Oh, okay.
Which are very regular, I might add.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just whenever you please.
Oh, what does this look like in 2D kind of thing? Yeah.
But you could literally like, I'll just quickly pop 10 seconds, 15 seconds to nearest town.
Yeah.
Change 2D. Let's have a look what it looks
I
like.
need to like emphasize the fact that a game of this scale, they're just like, oh yeah, we also made it in 2D.
Yeah,
it's
they would have
insane.
Literally had to redo. Like
it's ludicrous.
Yeah, okay, they've got a template, I guess. Like they know what the map should look like ish, but they still had to go and do it.
It's insane. Dude, you made the game. I'm very thankful for this 2D mode, but you didn't have to do that. That's very cool.
I wish more games would do it. Like I think it would be rocking for a Pokemon game.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I love it that it exists. Because, like you say, with like the Halo one, the original version, it's like you've made the original one already, right? This is a remaster. Whereas, like with this, it's like no, you made the game basically twice, asset-wise.
Yeah.
But no, thoroughly enjoying it. I haven't got to halfway, which I know isn't the halfway point, but
Yeah.
I refer to it as the halfway point because that's when shit goes down.
My
I'm playing through.
My experience with this game when I played it was, I thought I was approaching the end about 4 or 5 times. We're just like, there's more.
I do know
there's
when
more.
you're actually close to ending the game, the like last 15 hours is like,
Yes.
so this is the end. So this is the
Yeah, I think I like defeated some final big bad, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we're doing." I'm not gonna spoil anything. They were like, "We're doing this thing now," and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
it keeps going.
So I have a question because I think I played like maybe an hour or two of one of the 3DS Dragon Quest games. What are some of like the selling points for the Dragon Quest games? And are they like Final Fantasy where you can just pick up anyone and it's a unique story, or are
yes,
they?
absolutely.
Okay.
It's exactly like that in the sense that while they every now and then you might get references because I believe it is like the same world in quotation marks.
Yeah.
It'll be the same like universe, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could pick up my favorite I played as a kid was Dragon Quest 8 PS2 game.
That's brilliant. That game.
That game is monumentally loved.
I think Yangus in Dragon Quest 8 is one of my favorite characters of all time. Oi, Gav! Oh, come over here, mate! And then Jessica in that game, just as a kid.
But it's a traditional JRPG, turn-based combat.
Yeah.
Is there like a unique selling point, or is it like the art style and just the world in general? Or is there like it's known for this mechanic?
By unique, really.
I would say that at least for me, one of the unique selling points is in a world where a lot of RPGs now are trying to be actiony and unique and have this going on and that going on. The Dragon Quest series is unbelievably faithful to just traditional JRPG.
Yeah.
You walk up to a monster, you fight it in turn-based combat, you get XP, and you carry on. And it sounds simple and boring.
And clean.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It sounds simple and almost like boring, but behind that simplicity, it's got like 20 years worth of quality of life and just love and care. And the aesthetics design as well. What is it? It's Akira Toriyama. Is that the guy's name? Dragon Ball Z guy, artist.
Yeah, the
big foreheads,
big eyes, spiky hair.
The art style and aesthetics is always like polished perfection.
Yeah,
like it's always crazy good.
Yeah, I went into Dragon Quest 11 knowing that I liked the series, but that game in particular, it's a fantastic game. I love that game so much.
Is the thing that got me with the Dragon Quest games is the game is almost built for you to just like play through, and it's like, if you've not hit certain level checks, you're not gonna get like gear checked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're not strong enough, come back. No, in Dragon Quest there's always been this like, if you just get like a couple of lucky attacks from the boss and you're actually like, you get given so many tools to like affect your stats, and like I was saying, status effects that affect every boss, but I've just never done it because in a JRPG no one does.
Yeah, why would you?
Dragon Quest has that at its core, where it's like it gives you that option of strategy so that you don't have to grind.
Yeah.
But it also gives you an entire monster line called Metal Slimes, which is if you kill this, you're gonna get like 20 times the amount of EXP you would normally get from a fight.
Yeah, and you can farm those to death if you want to.
So it's like, okay, you're going to do grinding. Here's just a set of monsters you can go grind on so that you don't have to spend the next 20 hours grinding.
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
Nice.
I appreciate that,
Yeah. If you're going to grind it, yeah.
It's just, the easiest way to say everything is just so well thought out. That there is something for everything.
Yeah. Because is there any other big JRPG series that just is like this? Because like Final Fantasy's off doing,
crazy
coke
stuff,
or something. Yeah, crazy shit.
Yeah, Final Fantasy's getting away from turn-based.
The only other one on top of my head that I can think of is Bravely Default, and that's kind. I played Bravely Default 2 on 3DS, and it was a good enough game. It ran like ass on Switch because all Switch games do, but it was like this, right? Where it's like, we're just playing a JRPG. It's like you get classes, you get spells. It's traditional to a fault, which I love. That's not a diss. I love that kind of shit. But yeah,
unlike you could say Persona, but obviously Persona has the life sim school section.
Yeah.
So it splits up, whereas this is just it's full story as you go through dungeons, boss to boss, town to town.
Yeah, Persona
until
is
you hit the end of the game.
Persona is for anime fans. Like you have to anime, slice of life anime to enjoy Persona because half that game is.
No, I would disagree.
You would disagree with that?
Specifically from watching, there's a couple of people that I've watched that have done reviews for Persona 5 and said they don't really like JRPGs and they certainly don't like life sims, but because the games do both so well,
I suppose,
and to mix it so you're never doing one for too long, you don't actually have to be hooked by either side because the game just keeps changing.
I've heard so many stories of people being turned off like Persona 4 because they get 2 hours in and they're like, oh, we're still hanging around school talking. So I don't know, but I'm not going to move this onto Persona conversation. But
no.
This is on.
Although I could.
We could, Sam.
We're not going to.
Just real quick before we move on, what are you playing this on? Because I'm about to put one of the versions on my to rent list.
I'm playing this on Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass. Oh, I'm taking it off again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Game Pass just has the definitive edition on it.
Yeah, I've seen that on there and had I had the same problem with this as I did with Persona 5 Royal, where I've already played the base game and I'm like, I could play this again, but it is kind of 100 hours for a game I have kind of played already.
That's why, like I said, I'm playing it the way I am, because I'm not grinding, because, I'm getting every treasure chest in a dungeon and town and stuff, but that doesn't take too long out of your way. In this game, it has the thing that it is following the trend of is it's not random battles in this game. It's there are enemies in the world, and you run up and hit them with your sword, and that initiates the combat.
Yeah.
So you can run through fields and dungeons and have zero combat if you don't want to. So it's not like walk 3 steps, combat, walk 4 steps, combat, and you start going, oh, come on, I just want to fight the boss.
That's a change I can get behind, yeah.
So, but because of that, you can get through this game pretty quickly.
Maybe one day, just not.
I would.
Yeah,
I'd recommend it.
When I played this game before, though, I loved it. So, what were you gonna say, Steve?
Yeah, no.
No, I was gonna say I've been noticing a trend for that. Crystal Project had that as well, where it's no random battles. I think people are starting to get fed up of random battles, so it's being removed a lot.
That's a very old school JRPG mechanic.
Or is it not a relic of back when the games literally didn't have the space to render enemies in the world?
Maybe.
And then they just carried on with it.
The thing I will say is, in the 2D version, if you play 2D, you do have random battles like that.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
But I think that's just because the 2D mode was for those fans that really wanted that old school experience.
Yeah.
So it's for them,
Oh, cool. Do you have any closing words or?
Fantastic game. Everyone should play it.
Yeah, everyone should play it. Okay. Steve, what have you been playing?
I have been playing Legends of Runeterra, their new Champions mode.
I just installed. So I felt like I got burnt by Immortal, and I was thinking about games that do monetization well. Or really generously, and I was like, I should reinstall Runeterra. I want to give it another go.
I will say.
So, is it worth it?
I have been enjoying it. Legends of Runeterra, I often just every few months I go back to it because it is the most friendliest card game for your free to play card game for your time.
Yeah,
by far.
I get Twitch Prime. I just get every month consistently. They're have some free crafting materials for your cards, and I know that I can go back to this game, unlike Hearthstone, unlike Magic the Gathering Arena, unlike Pokemon, where you go back after a few months and all your cards are basically useless.
Yep.
In Legends of Runeterra, the cards I have viable decks still. Like I might need to like craft 1 or 2 new cards, but for the most part, and the most expensive cards, the champions, I have the ones I like. I can get new ones, but I have viable decks to craft, so I come back every now and then. And the new Champions mode, I did play the original one, and they've done their 2. I'm not sure what it's called. Sorry,
it's just called 2.0. I think it's called
Legends of Runeterra. I just call it the PVE mode.
There is it's the PVE mode basically. So you're against AI and not real opponents.
Half a champions. That's it.
Yeah.
So they've updated it. So when I logged in, I had Jinx already, and it said, you've done this mode before, you've done the tutorial before, but we've changed it. Do you want to do it again? And I was like, sure. And it's doing bot matches, but where you get like different affixes and like items and stuff for your cards, it's basically like, oh, we're cheating up in here. It feels like that almost. Like, what if this character had like +10 when you first put it down, and or this one has elusive, or this one has challenger and whatnot. It's very fun. It reminds me a little bit of the Hearthstone PvE mode, but this one feels much better.
It's not a roguelike though. It's because when I first started, because I played a bit of this as well, it feels like when you go into it, it's like, oh, this is a roguelike. But it is somewhat kind of like that. But there's lots of persistent stuff in between runs.
Yeah, there's persistent stuff. There's like often branching paths in the mode. Like when you enter a match, you do several battles, and there are different branching paths, and they seem to be persistent. But what rewards you get from them are different, and like because you'll have like your character, and they have like the PvE mode. By the way, you don't need to own any cards; it gives you cards for it. And in between like each match, like if you play it again, you'll get different cards and different effects on those cards. And so it does keep it kind of fresh. So it is a lot of fun. I will say the unlock mechanic is not super clear to me. It feels like it's a little bit gachery with the rewards. Like you can't pay to unlock stuff in the PvE mode. You've got to play to unlock it. But at the end of like doing a run, you'll get like shards for one of the champions that are in the PvE mode, and you've got to get like 20 to unlock that champion's deck, and then once you can earn more shards to give them like a passive power and stuff. And there's lots to customize in this game mode as well. Like out before you even like enter one of the matches, if you get the shards, you can get their passive powers, and you can give them items as well. You can level up each champion, and each level gives them like, it'll be like, oh, this unit in their deck gets now like a buff, and this unit in their deck gets this, and you can like re-roll this, like re-roll if you die, like retry a match.
Yeah.
And there's several like passive powers, and there's also like an account level as well. I've not seen what that does, but it basically feels like when you like, so we like, oh, I just got one where it's like, now in my store, rather than having 3 options, there are 6 options at all times.
Yeah.
And now I can get rare items randomly given to me rather than just all commons. It's been a lot of fun, and it's made, and the also nice thing is for Legends of Runeterra, one of the things that makes it so free to play friendly is there's a weekly vault that you can like, if you play during the week and you do quests, you get experience, and that will increase your weekly vault. And I think if you get to like level 10, you get like a free champion every week.
I remember if you maxed out the vault by just playing. I used to play quite casually, and I still managed to max it out.
It's not difficult at all.
Yeah, you basically get 1 or 2 champion cards every week, which it's why it works so well as like a free-to-play system, where you have enough when you first start playing to have like a good time, and then if you're still playing after a week, it kind of goes like, okay, well now try this character, and then you have a week of like trying out that character and stuff. So
I will say, like, if you're going into this game, it's good to have like like with any free-to-play game, it's good to have a rough idea of what you want to play initially, or finding like a good base deck initially, because they give you stuff like quite quickly at the start, so then you can get that, and then you just like start earning towards other decks and stuff, and it's not bad at all. But this PvE mode gives you stuff, like gives you unlocks for the PvP mode as well. Like you can earn earn like unlocks, not unlocks, but you can earn like experience towards those weekly chests, so you can get cards if you want to dip your toes into the PvP mode as well.
Yeah.
They also, I think they put out a statement as well saying, because at the moment they're balancing for the PvP and this Path of Champions mode, and they've said that their future they're gonna exclude, well, pretty much 100% balance for the PvP mode now.
Yeah,
like
that makes sense. Yeah.
Thing, and then the Path of Champions, they might do slight tweaks, but it's mostly going to be the PvP, because I think people were worried that, or it was it was getting a bit too skewed.
Well, it's weird because it's a lot of. I know what I'm about to ask for is a lot of work, but I feel like you almost have to branch the game in two, right, and try and balance for a single player mode, and then also balance on the other side for a PvE mode, and that's PvP mode. And as long as they don't branch too far away, it's not that big of a deal, because as long as the card still fundamentally acts the same, just with a few different numbers.
One of the things that I think I skimmed, because it was like quite a long announcement thing, they said they're going to do more frequent updates to like balancing for cards as well.
I think,
but
this game is so approachable, I feel.
Yeah, if you want to dip your toes into a card game, this is the one, because it's like you put your time into like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering. Yeah, they're fun, but you drop it for a little bit, you come back, all your cards are basically like useless in standard. You got to do the expanded mode, but then the expanded is where it's everything.
Yeah,
what was good then is probably trash now. Whereas
it's like it's like a cliche almost, but Runeterra makes you feel bad for not spending money on it, with all because like I think I've put maybe £5 into it since I started playing, and I have never like prompted me, it never pushed me to spend money. I was just like, I've spent hundreds of hours in this game. You can have some of my money. It's okay.
I'm the same. Where I think at this point, if I was to like guess, over a long period of time, I've definitely played for somewhere between 50 to 100 hours, and I haven't. I have not purchased anything. I never felt the need to. I played so much of it. This was quite a while ago. I think it was like during first lockdown. I got really into it. I played it so much, and with the weekly vaults, that gave me so many like unique cards. And then with duplicate cards, if you get like dupes, you get crystals, which you can buy cards with that you need. And
you just get wild cards as well, which is like it's like a bonus. You just get if you get a common card, you can craft a common one for free with this wild card.
Yeah. And there were several times where when I was playing and I got really into it, and started working out like metas and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, I can see everyone's using this deck online. What is the deck? And I would look online, find out what it is, and again, I haven't put a single penny into this game. I had enough of the currency, the diamonds and stuff, to make the deck that I wanted, which it feels like if at any point they're going to be like, okay, maybe start paying now, that would have been it. But still, at that point, I just kept playing, and playing.
Go on.
And now there's like this PvE mode, which I've played a bit of as well, and it's like, again, this is really cool, and it's free.
They keep adding to the game as well. Like now I think they maybe have stopped adding like factions, because they like it's basically like I think there's like 11 or 12 factions regions.
Yeah.
Let me count. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Well, there's 10 plus the Yordles, which are kind of like they go into every region. So there's 10 different regions, and like usually when they do an expansion, they either add like a region, but they also add cards like a champion to all the existing regions as well, and just like a few new cards for each region. So like it's still getting like a lot of support. There's still like a bunch of champions that they could still add to the game. I imagine their goal is to add all the champions from League of Legends into this game.
One thing I want to mention about the PvE that you didn't, which I also think is really cool, is now with the rise of like Arcane and stuff on Netflix, where people are getting into the lore of the League games, the PvE mode, a lot of the levels they're capped off with like comic book style art and stories and bits like that as well. So if you're into that kind of stuff, this mode actually came out
when Arcane was released. That was the 1.0.
Yes, yeah.
Was when Arcane was released. So that's why like you get Jinx at the start, is because Jinx is the star of Arcane.
Yeah, Jinx
But
is another poster child for League, I feel.
I will say like Legends of Runeterra, I feel like got a bad rep just because it like when it first launched, it was pure PvP, but I'm not sure. Like it was polished, but people just weren't that interested in it. But I'm saying like they've added so much to the game. They keep adding like keywords as well for like cards and effects, and it really is like I'd say everyone if you like trading card games or collectible card games, I should say, and or even like slightly interested in one, this is a very good one to jump into.
I don't think it necessarily got a bad rep. I just don't think it's caught on.
Yeah,
and I can't, and I don't, and I wonder why, because it's like, you know, like Riot's new thing is Blizzard's old thing, which is they'll just take an existing game basically and copy it whole hog, and then make it like more accessible, like CS:GO into Valorant, etc.
Yeah,
Dota into League.
I find there's a very interesting parallel with this game and Hearthstone to World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah,
which is, as perhaps like one game slightly gets worse, aka World of Warcraft and Hearthstone, and a competitor is slightly better. It's like almost like the scales start tipping slightly, right?
Yeah. But
like,
I just feel like Runeterra has quietly been the best card game you can get into at the moment on PC, on like, you know, digital
PC
card
and
game,
mobile.
at least. Yeah. And it's like, I wonder why. Is it too generous? Is the fact that you can't chase, like, you don't chase meta decks like you do in other card games. You just get given it. And is that like, is that actually worse for the longevity of the game? That I can just boot up and get a meta deck away?
It might just be like, over time, again, more and more people will start slowly moving to Runeterra, and then these things just happen over a long time, right? Like,
I would make the argument that maybe that kind of genre, it's not like Hearthstone is popping off, you know? Maybe that area just isn't got a lot of players in it at the moment.
Yeah,
you know?
like it should. I'd say now it should be the one that's over, because people are cooling on Hearthstone, right? Same, and like Magic Arena, people have a lot of problems with. It's the way it's monetized.
Yeah,
so it's like I feel like now should be the rise of Runeterra, but it's just
it might be one of those things where this is happening, but just as sort of Sam says, with these sort of genres, there's not a lot to really shout about, right? Yeah. It's just a really good card game.
I guess.
If I look on Twitch right now, Hearthstone's at 15k viewers, Runeterra's at 900. Like, although with Hearthstone, you do have to remember that it's the base game, it's the battleground mode, and the PvE mode. I can't remember what it was called. Warframe? No, Warhammer? No.
I think another thing to consider is League of Legends is still very popular, and Teamfight Tactics is also very popular. So obviously that brand is still popular, but maybe it might just have a lot of players but not a lot of viewers. Like,
well, it's like you say never say never. You might find in the future when, you know, all of a sudden we skip forward 2-3 years, right? And there's also a Riot fighting game. There's a Riot. Well, they're making like an MMO as well. They're making like an action RPG, like Diablo. I think they were making. At some point they're going to have enough games that they just have this launcher, right, on PC where you boot Valorant and this, that, and the other from. And then that's where people start maybe slowly funneling into these other games like Runeterra.
They already have that launcher for.
I know it exists, but I mean, like when it's more openly used every day.
Yeah, right? You don't. It doesn't ever force you onto it, does it?
Out of my list of startup apps on my computer, the Riot launcher is not one of them.
I will say though as well, Riot Games, they've got 2 mobile games at the moment, being Teamfight Tactics and they've got 3: Wild Rift, Teamfight Tactics, and Legends of Runeterra. Technically, are all mobile games. They're all very free to play friendly.
Yeah, good.
Compared to like Blizzard, who is like Hearthstone is not, and
Hearthstone is still quite free to play friendly.
Well, I guess
let's be fair here.
The battleground mode
depends what you want to do in it.
Yeah, the battleground mode is if you want to keep current standard meta decks going, I would say no. Like it's very feels like it's like your average CCG where it's like you've got to craft, but then you've got to buy the packs to get that. Is it doesn't feel.
Okay, here's the perspective that I'll look at it from. If you're actively trying to have more than one meta deck, you're probably playing a fair amount already. So you probably can actually craft a second meta deck.
But like Magic Arena and Hearthstone are like you have to save or you have to grind or spend money to make a single meta deck. Runeterra's like just boot it up and like how many decks do you want?
I guess
you don't have to spend a penny.
Yeah, you've played for a couple of weeks. Now make a new deck of whatever you want, kind of thing. You play casually for a week or two.
I've never really considered it, but I guess where the cards rotate out, you can disenchant all your old cards to then craft new cards.
Oh, I don't like that though.
Yeah, I don't like that. It seems like, just in case
maybe it's because I've played Runeterra the least, but I find it hard to believe that you just boot up the game and then you've got like a completely meta.
You don't, but deck. I think the idea is that for, say, a brand new player jumps in, by the time they get to the point where they're bored of the starter cards, you can probably make one deck
you can do
of
that
whatever.
If you're saying, this is what I mean by from free to play, are you talking from someone who's played a lot or someone starting new? Because someone starting new, there's a ton of stuff you get at the start of Hearthstone and Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, I'll put my hands up.
I'm saying this from a devil's advocate point of view.
I'll put my hands up and say, in all honesty, I haven't played much Hearthstone or Magic, so I don't know much about those games. Yeah. I just know that Runeterra is quite nice in this regard.
I would say, because you get those wildcards, I feel like, again, I played Legends of Runeterra at launch, but I feel like they give you 6 legendary wildcards very quickly, so you can craft the 6 legendaries you need for your deck, and then it's just like epics, uncommons, and commons, and you generally don't need too many epics. Like that might be like where the pain point is, but it's I feel like you can definitely craft like a deck, maybe even 2, very quickly. And it's not like in Hearthstone where it's like, you got to kind of pray that you get the drops, and if not, it's like, you got to save up, and in Runeterra it's like, you get the wild cards. They basically say have whatever deck you want from any of the cards, have it, go at it, and then start earning more. And I think there was a famous quote when this game came out saying, like, if you play a fair every day or whatnot, you can collect all the cards from a set before the next set comes out, because they'll give you that much free to play currency.
I never did it, but I will say that when I played this game quite a while back, when it was still somewhat fresh, it's the first ever game like this that I've played that actually felt quote unquote completable. I felt like I could actually get every card here. Where it's always been like normally like I'll get what I need and whatever.
There's always been, whenever I play Hearthstone and I'm like, I'm gonna play meta, I'm always playing the I boot up the database and I'm like, give me budget, win rate, and it'll be like, you're playing Face Hunter. You're playing Face Hunter again, There's always those like super premium decks that I will just never get to play because it requires so much investment.
Doesn't give me as much insight, is because whenever I played those games, for me, drafting in the arena mode, that's where I had the most fun. I never made a meta deck to just play ladder, because ladder just never interested me. Drafting was always so much more fun.
I'm gonna start wrapping this up. We'll move on to the next thing. But yeah, Legends of Runeterra, very, very good game. I'm the last person here to talk about what I've been playing this week, and I've kind of not played anything new. This is the first week, I think. It's like I tried to be a little bit more active in the Diablo and Runeterra conversations, because I've played those this week. I played a little bit of Diablo Immortal, and I played a little bit of Runeterra, and those were what I was going to somewhat talk about. One thing I have started dabbling again, because it's been a while, is, I won't go crazy into this because we talked about it before, but Vampire Survivors.
I saw you.
Oh
playing
yeah,
that
yeah.
a little bit.
It had been long enough. I hadn't touched it in a while. I was like, I could play this again. And there's so much new stuff now.
I saw. I think we were talking. I was talking to my girlfriend about games that we had 100%ed before.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll check my Vampire Survivor progression. And it was something like, when I left, there were like 70 achievements, which is basically unlocks in the game. And now there's like over 100.
There's 100
so there's like
9 or something crazy.
Like a third of the game again has been added.
What I will say is, I went into this after a long break thinking like, it'll be more of the same. This game does some cool shit. Yeah. It's that I've unlocked a few more new levels, and some of the newer levels, when you hit certain time periods out of the 30 minutes, some weird stuff happens, and I don't want to spoil it because it's really cool. But yeah, it's most of it is what I expected. There's a whole bunch of new weapons, new characters.
Okay, I have a question, because before we were commenting about how the artwork is similar or ripped.
Yeah.
Have they changed the artwork at all?
They haven't changed it, but a lot of the new artwork is definitely a lot more polished and unique than before. The newer levels look better than the older levels, things like that. A good reason to bring this up again is this is now... It was already dirt cheap at like £2 or something on Steam. It's now on Game Pass. So
it's even cheaper.
It's even cheaper. Yeah, I'm not going to go into this.
Can't believe it. Jesus, how
play?
But Game Pass doesn't have the achievements, right? And that's what everyone seems to like to play it for.
The achievements are in game though.
They're in-game achievements.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Every in-game achievement is also a Steam achievement. So it's a good metric to see how far you are from the Steam launcher, because you can just be like, oh, okay, I'm on 100.
Also, Game Pass has achievements, doesn't it?
I think it does, but it's because it's Game
no
Pass.
Preview
It's just
games.
I don't know.
So I've been getting achievements for Dragon Quest, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, Xbox games they were the original achievements, but it might not be for game previews. Yeah.
If you're
they might be more restricted,
If you're listening to this and you still haven't played Vampire Survivors, like what are you doing at this point? Come on.
I'm waiting for it.
We're getting people hooked on crack though.
But it's good crack. It's cheap crack. It's fun crack.
It to be on Switch and maybe, but
just play it, Steve. For God's sake. It's so good. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I'm also going to cap off my part of this podcast with a question.
Oh,
we got
another one. We got one more.
We got a question. Okay, so I'm gonna throw this out to you now. The last time you were prepped, this time you're going in completely blind.
This is exciting.
We got a question from Bluntcast.
Yeah.
And he says, what is your favourite boss fight or your best boss fight? Just one that sticks out in your memory. One that you remember is quite good.
You gave us no time to prepare.
No time. What I will say while you're thinking about this,
Josh has
I'll go for my one. I think it's good, right? Because when you chuck out the question like this, it's just raw, right? I really like the Metal Gear Solid 4 final boss, where it's just all the HUD is changing and stuff like that during a fist fight. So yeah, I really like that one. Do any of you have any?
Not.
I guess again, when we had the other question, again, I felt like I had to answer just like what comes to mind immediately.
Yes.
So if it's come to my mind immediately, that must mean it holds weight in my mind, right? My favorite boss fight in that situation that immediately I thought of was Dark Chronicle. When you're doing essentially what is the prologue, there's a boss fight where you fight a clown mech type thing.
Yeah.
And you have to like dodge all these attacks and all these ads it spawns, and it shoots out its nose as a bomb, and you've got to pick it up and throw it back at it.
I played this not that long ago. Oh my god!
And then that like knocks the mech out, and then you've got to like hit it while it's down, and like you've got to get its health bar to 0 in those windows. And I think that always stays in my head because that is what starts off the story of like your antagonist that has sent this clown mech after you, and then you leave that bit, and then it hits you with like the intro song, and it's like, right, and now you've done the tutorial essentially,
Yeah.
Here's a little song. Here's the world. Start the game. And that's what came to mind when you asked me my favorite boss fight.
Okay, Will or Steve, have you had anything come to mind? Again, I was hoping just chucking it out there would give you a more raw, visceral answer.
I can't think of any bosses in single player games that are like sticker, because I'm like, I love Pokemon battles, but it's like not really. Like I've played them so much that they've kind of lost all difficulty for me, so they don't really stick out. I will say 2 bosses. I'm not sure if it counts, but like from World of Warcraft that stick out to me are the XT002 deconstructor from Ulduar.
Yeah,
I loved that fight.
Ulduar bosses. I didn't even think of WoW bosses.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I did that hardcore in a guild, and so much fun. And then also just like any of the ones that I've done with these guys, like raiding, like just playing a boss fight with friends.
Yeah,
that was my second one that I thought of, was when we cleared N'Zoth. And it was just us. Our friend group cleared heroic.
The power of
N'Zoth,
friendship.
Just us 10. No randos. Nothing.
Yep.
Just us.
And
we all have varying different skill levels as well. It's not like we're all like raiding week in, week out.
Just doing it with friends, yeah.
Yeah, it's there's the MMO one as well, where the Final Fantasy XIV final bosses at the end of expansions won't spoil anything, but they're very they're brilliant as well.
They're both cinematic and challenging at the same time.
Yeah. Go on, Will.
Okay, I have several.
That's fine.
Because you all reminded me. So the chess event from Karazhan, thank you. One of my coolest gaming memories. I don't think I even really participated in the event because we just had a bunch of guildies who knew what to do and they just did it for us, sort of thing. I was still like a young WoW player at that point, and I was like, we don't trust you to touch anything here yet, you know? Like you're like the guild serf, you know. You just heal. So
just stand over there and press a few buttons.
I have such fond memories of clearing Karazhan with my guild at the time. Similarly, like Steve said, any of the bosses we did when we played WoW, like Heroic N'Zoth, or even the new what was it, Castle Castle Denathrius or something?
That one, yeah.
Sire Denathrius, whatever it was.
Sire Denathrius and Castle
Emerald Nightmare as well, we cleared.
Some of the bosses in that was so much fun to play.
Josh, you need to play WoW, the next WoW expansion.
No, I don't.
Yeah, we're going to raid. It's going to be fun.
No, I don't think we do.
I don't think we do.
So that was really good fun. In a similar vein, when we cleared the Eater of Worlds in Destiny 2 with 6 of us.
That was really fun.
Sundog Moon.
Sundog, yeah, Cup Sundog, yeah.
This makes no sense to anyone listening, but
one of my fondest gaming memories, I think, ever is running through that raid, because those raids are so well designed. Some of those encounters are so great.
They have puzzles. They have actual hard shooting trials.
Yeah. The little arena race that you have to do where everyone was passing the baton to each other. It's so much fun. I love that. Then I sort of I thought about the final boss of Sekiro and how it took me like 4 hours, and I was chatting to you guys on Discord the entire time. Like we had a little group chat about how we were progressing through Sekiro.
Oh god, that final boss of Sekiro was so insanely hard until I realized you could reflect the lightning.
Oh god, yeah. Well, I can't even imagine. I
didn't know you could do that. You had to like jump and absorb it.
Yeah, you just jump. Yeah,
I didn't know.
Lightning can't hurt you if you're not on the ground. Everyone knows that. But anyway, that is like the perfect like Dark Souls-esque experience to me of like entering a boss fight, the boss wiping the floor with you in like 5 seconds flat and being like, how could a human beat this, you know? And then over the course of the next hour or so, eventually being able to do it with your eyes closed.
Motherfucker, you will learn.
Yeah, exactly. Being able to I was sat next to my girlfriend, and the whole time I was fighting him, I would be like, okay, now he's going to try and stab, which I can do the Makiri counter or whatever it's called on, that he's going to do 2 hits, deflect those. And then it's like, oh, I cleared the first phase in like 10 seconds flat because I can read this guy like a book at this point.
It's the part of the first Matrix movie where Neo becomes the one, and Agent Smith starts like throwing punches, and he's just like deflecting them without. He's getting like
more and more frustrated because he can't hit him.
And Neo's face is just vacant, right? Where he's like just like deflecting shit. It's basically that.
That was it. It was like I just feel empty. I don't feel anything anymore. I just see the code through the screen.
I'm vacant because I just want to get to phase 2 of this fight. I can do phase 1 blindfolded. Let's just get this over with.
Yeah, I don't think any Dark Souls boss, any Soulsborne boss before or since has really captured that for me. There's a couple come close, like Bloodborne has some really good contenders. I think Elden Ring had some great bosses as well. Not any truly memorable ones like
I remember fighting Artorias for the first time. Like I'll give him some credit. But
I will say actually from the Dark Souls game, well, from Elden Ring, I guess Desert Horse Gravity Daddy was the one that sticks up most.
No, fuck him. I hated that boss fight.
I did that boss really late, so I turned up and killed him really easily. And was
He's the one
when you complete every side quest and then fight the final boss.
Oh, it's like I got to his fight, and the dude sitting in a chair was like, "Yeah, come back later." And I didn't go back there until I'd done basically everything else, and I couldn't progress any further. And
I hate that boss fight because when you say like, "Oh, I didn't like it," people will go, "It's easy. All you do is run around the arena, the edge of the arena, summoning NPCs until they kill him." And I'm like, "That's not a boss fight, though, is it? That's like
that's
child minding." That's Pikmin. Yeah. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. The only other one, weirdly, that popped into my head when you said boss fight was this is a bit of a deeper cut, but Black Waltz from Final Fantasy IX when you fight him on the deck of the cargo ship.
Yeah, that actually popped up, but that's more because I was emotional playing that as a child.
Same.
And we just had the cutscene of him killing all the other Black Waltzes, and you're like,
and then you go into trance, and then it plays that really cool cutscene afterwards where you like crash the ship through the gate. That was a cool fight. Why
did Sony not announce Final Fantasy IX Remake?
I want to give an honourable mention to Monster Hunter as well. But again, I think that comes under just playing with friends. Makes things a lot more memorable.
I'll throw out that as my sort of last one to cap it off. Basically every boss from Ocarina of Time, Zelda, I think it's really good.
Ooh, I didn't think of Zelda bosses.
As a child playing through Ocarina of Time, they were so sick. You get to like the fire temple, and it was Vol something, can't remember his name, but the big fire dragon.
Yeah, you throw bombs in his mouth. Yeah.
Oh, that's King Dodongo. I mean the adult one, where it's like a big dragon flying around the sky.
Hammer one.
Yeah, the hammer one. Yeah, you do the forest temple. The forest temple's already quite scary as a kid, and then it's like Phantom Ganon, this creepy thing on a horse.
I liked the Twin Nova one, whatever. From the Desert Temple, where it's like, oh, it's 2 bosses. Oh god,
it's 2 old women. Oh god, now they fused. Oh Jesus, they're a sexy woman now. What's going on?
I think maybe that's like something missing, but like, I think that's why maybe we like the Soulsborne games so much, is because Zelda games were like, here we fucking go. You walk into that arena, the cutscene starts, and you're like, all right, let's do it, let's go. I don't feel you get that as much in games these days.
It felt like people have had this conversation before, but the main thing missing from Breath of the Wild, as good as it was proper dungeons capped off with proper bosses. Definitely. That felt thematic to whatever dungeon you were in.
Yeah.
So,
See about Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, what did you fight in Breath of the Wild? Like angry iPads or something?
I think they were, yeah. I don't remember what they were specifically, but I think they were like angry coffee machines and
yeah.
Just stuff like that.
How could we talk about boss fights without mentioning Star Wolf? I think we all know that theme in our heads, Can't let you do that, Star Fox.
You're never going to get a new Star Fox game.
Oh, I know.
I've never played a Star Fox game.
Good, that shit.
I used to play one of if people have questions for us in future episodes, where can they send them?
You can send them to the Game FourCast at gmail.com.
Well, also, who did we miss? I'd like to hear what other people's favorite boss fights, because I bet I'm missing some really obvious.
If you have a favorite boss fight, leave it in the comments, because we're gonna miss hundreds, because there are so many, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, should we get onto some news? Because there's There's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot of news this week.
Well, there's not a lot of news, but they're interesting pieces.
Yeah, they're interesting pieces. Yeah, 100%. So the first one we've got. This is for you, Steve. I thought we'd go straight into this one. There was a new.
I'll be right back.
a new 3-minute trailer for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, which gave out a lot of cool new information. The key thing. I scroll down this page. Where are they? They're under. There's new legendaries that have been announced.
They're dumb. No one cares. Well, except for the penis one, but.
What? I've seen him and I don't remember which one's that.
The purple one, they had like a back shot of him, and he just looks like a penis.
I can kind of, even in this front shot, I can kind of see it.
You can see it.
You can see it. The big thing everyone's talking about are the new Pokemon. So the box art legendaries have been shown. It's Koraidon. Am I saying that right?
Koraidon and Miraidon. Which apparently people are saying, because like the theory is that they both have Rhydon in their name, and they look like they're going to transform into motorcycles.
That is pretty sick. I like that idea. I've seen a lot of people talking about how the key themes are obviously past and future. So you've got Koraidon looking more, he's like going to this like motorcycle theme. He's got like wheels on his chest and stuff, whereas the other one has like jets and lasers and shit like that.
Okay.
And you've also got, I'll come off this page and go to the other one. So each game now has a unique professor.
Following this, Sam?
Are you listening? Are you listening? Come on, you listening? There's two new.
There's on bikes now. What?
There's 2 new professors, one for each game. One of them is obviously like set in the past. She's wearing
on board proper workshop attire.
And then one is Future Man. He looks like the Chad meme. I want to point that out as well. He's horrifically. Look how good looking he is. It's
Sada and Professor Chiro. Both of them are extremely good looking, and there is already people already loving.
Which game has the one on the left?
That is Scarlet.
Oh my god, you guys keep it in your pants. It's a kid's game.
Look, I just present the news. I'm not providing comment. I did already about that Chad guy. Shit.
People are obsessed with especially the Professor Churro. The male one. They love.
Hold on, what? He's called Professor Churro.
Churro.
Yeah, like the sweet, like the donut.
I mean,
like the donut.
I think it's probably pronounced differently. I butchered
That's
it.
crossing some lines, isn't it?
No, it's probably pronounced differently. I'm butchering it, I assume.
This is all over the place. What are we talking about? You've also got Nimona. She's the new, not antagonist, but rival. Yeah. She does cool.
You've got pneumonia.
I've got pneumonia. I won't be here next week. So
is she going to be a proper rival, or is she going to be a rival like in the last one I played, who's basically your best friend?
She looks like she's more of like a best friend rival.
Oh, lame.
So in the picture,
I want him
she
to call me
like,
a dirtbag.
Keep it in your pants. Your main character is 10 again, but then your rival was like 16.
I did think that. Yeah, these are the main characters here, and they literally look like they're 8 years old.
But the main things that have come out from this game is that of the announced new Pokemon, there is Lechonk and Smoliv, which the internet loves, and poor me, no one cares about.
Yeah, let me find pictures.
And what? And hold on, what? And poor you, no one cares about.
Poor me. It's like the new Pikachu.
Oh, poor you.
Oh,
Steve.
I thought you meant poor. Yeah, poor me.
No.
Poor me another
Pokemon.
Pour me another drink, Jesus.
Pour me another.
Pour me another.
No one cares about that little
scuffed fat Pikachu. No one cares. Yeah. Moving on. It's all about Lechonk, baby.
I will say
Lechonk.
Lechonk is the internet favorite right now. Everyone loves Lechonk.
He's just a stupid fat pig.
Normal type, yeah.
He's a hog.
Oh, I didn't even realise he's normal type. He's nothing. He's just a normal fat pig called Lechonk.
Yeah.
Timid and faint-hearted, but also strong. If attacked by an opponent and startled, it will charge forward in a panic. Me IRL.
Like me, yeah. Literally me, yeah.
Literally me.
I would say the main 2 things that came out the trailer, though, is some gameplay mechanics of they said it's completely open world.
Yes.
It's not going to be like Gym 1, Gym 2, Gym 3. It's like you go to whichever gym you want or whatever it is. We're not entirely sure. They never announced, but they said you can do the game in whichever order you want, which is nice. And number 2 is this game has 4-player co-op. Like rather than having the wild area thing, you can have 4 friends in your world at the same time, and they show them like running off in different directions, going to explore. So you can just have 3 friends just in the same world, and occasionally you might bump into each other if you want, or you can go around walking together.
Am I gonna play that? Am I gonna buy this?
Yeah.
Am I gonna buy this twice?
We haven't seen too much of like the multiplayer mechanics, other than like you can trade out in the world wherever you want. But I imagine they have some sort of battling, like maybe friendly battling mechanic, or you can probably shiny hunt in the same world together.
Oh, great. Okay, Will, you need a party of 6 Smolivs.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I feel personally like I don't care about Pokemon, but then I saw Smoliv and I was like, well, sort of like that. Yeah, they've targeted me there, haven't they?
Smoliv, the small anxious olive. Damn.
I feel kind of attacked. Yeah.
It's a bit too personal there. I will. Not a lot else to really say about this.
Yeah, it was only 3 minutes later.
I'm going to cap this all off with, I saw all this news before I saw the trailer. Or I saw some of it, and I was like, this sounds pretty cool. And I watched the trailer, and it still graphically looks like arse. And it's
graphic.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm out again. I forgot.
Yeah. I started watching it, and it shows them in the world and running around. And it's like 4-player co-op, and shows 4 children standing in a grass JPEG field. And I'm just like, ugh!
Should we mention the Pokemon that you announced, Josh, before the thing? You got to preview a single Pokemon.
I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, go for it.
One called Sombrero.
Oh yes,
Sombrero.
The way you completely convinced all of us that was an actual
my
Pokemon.
Spelling mistake has now become canon.
Yeah, Josh just misspelled sombrero as sunbrero.
Yeah,
and
that's
we
real.
all just ran with it, and it's like it's such a perfect name for a Pokemon.
I've had Miyamoto on the phone all week. He's like, let's make this happen.
You should trademark that. Yeah, you should definitely trademark that.
I will say, if people want to do some like fan art concept of Sombrero, we'd love to see it.
Yeah,
even if it's like a 2-second like little doodle.
Go in paint. Go in paint.
Sombrero would be.
Yeah, go in paint. Draw me what Sunbrero looks like. That's SUNBRERO, and just send it to me, a .jpeg file, and it will be the start meme picture of next week's podcast.
And if we get enough, we can have a collage, maybe.
Yeah, let's not get optimistic. Let's a bit optimistic, Steve.
Well, we all 4 of us could draw one ourselves as well.
Sounds like work. Moving on. You've got Resident Evil 4. So, we'll start this off first with, there was a state of play on Thursday, the Thursday just gone. State of play being like a 30-minute long video by PlayStation showing new stuff coming out. And Steve very rightfully said before we started that this is basically their E3 presentation.
Oh, and just one quickly, if people want to see our initial reactions to this, where can they view those?
So on this channel, if you're on YouTube, or if you're listening on other platforms, you can go to our YouTube. We have uploaded it with commentary. It's about 30-ish minutes long from start to finish, and it will have all the announcements with our commentary about what we're about to talk about. This is a bit more in-depth, I would think, as opposed to those quick reactions. But one of the main ones we had was the announcement of Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Yeah.
This, I think, has been known about for a while, like on-off rumor and leaks. Like, it's happening. We talked about it a few weeks ago, for sure.
We definitely did.
We definitely did, yeah. But now it's official.
This was like the opening to it, and it kind of like everyone was like, "What's it going to be?" Because the music was very like almost flamenco, and I was like, "Is this Final Fantasy IX?" Because that has like at the start there's a very
I thought it was Last of Us because of the music. I thought it was, and like the font kind of reminded me of Last of Us. But
that's funny. That's funny.
I still so a bit of time has passed on this, and it'd be good to see what you guys think. But Resident Evil 4 has been ported so many times, and you can still play it really easily. It still plays really well, unlike 2 and 3 that were remade. They were tank controls with static cameras.
You say that. I was talking to Blackcast, who's a big Resident Evil fan, and he says that Port 4 that he played was not great at all.
It's still
there's
tank.
so
It's still
many.
tank controls in Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, it's still tank controls. You still have to. You stop when you aim. So I think
Yeah.
they changed that with 5 and 6. You could start moving whilst aiming.
No, I think 5 was still the
5,
same.
It's
Yeah.
5. It's
They
definitely.
were really stubborn.
Okay, so 6 you could definitely move whilst aiming, and then you had other games as well, like Dead Space, where you could move and shoot, and it was like, oh my god, this is great. But I think I'm very excited about this, but it feels like the one that needed the remake the least out of all of them. Like, what do you guys think?
What's been remade?
As
Say for 1,
opposed
2, and 3 has been remade,
What?
right?
Yeah, they did 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. The one remake is still tank controls with static cameras.
Right.
So at some point, Resident Evil 1 will probably get a proper remake, because that remake is back on GameCube. But yeah, I think I'm still very excited. It looks like they might lean a bit more into horror with this remake, because Resident Evil 4 is scary in some bits, but it was definitely more action, right?
Yeah, it was the first one where they were like, maybe we'll just make action games instead. Pretend it's horror.
But yeah, do you guys have any thoughts about this? Like, are you gonna play this?
I'm excited to play through it again. The last time I played Resident Evil 4 was on the Wii.
The Wii had a
So-
really good port. The controls were really good with that. That
It was good, yeah.
That was that was during the height of all the motion controls as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
every game was getting ported with Wiimote. But yeah, that was the first announcement. I think that was the opening, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the opening.
Yeah,
that was
strong
the-
opening.
Yeah,
That's a strong thing in general.
that was the
I
opening.
know that people have wanted this, so I'm excited for it. I've never played a Resident Evil. I've watched some of 8.
Yeah,
But so I'm excited. Like, if it's continuing on the polish of 8, I guess.
Yeah.
Then I'm excited to
I guess-
dip my toes into this.
A little bit of me is a little bit worried.
yeah,
Because the reason Resident Evil 4 got so many ports is because of how good of a game it is.
yeah,
And I'm worried that they might try and take a direction, and thus it I don't know, that they could just make not Resident Evil 4, I guess.
I think if you've ported
What do you mean?
Resident Evil 4 to so many places already, and it is a fan favorite and is very beloved, do you want a remake that is 1-to-1 faithful? I'd be kind of cool. I think it'd be kind of cool if they mixed it up a little bit and did maybe expanded or changed a few little bits.
I think I'd be more nervous if 2 and, well, maybe not 3, I haven't played 3, but 2 was such a fantastic game.
3
I'd be
had
more nervous.
3 had some issues, but I
I've
think
heard that. I have heard
I think all my issues with 3 come from the fact that it came out too quickly.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
it needed the actual gameplay is fine. It's just there's stuff missing where it's just like, did you run out of time? Why did you not make
Yeah.
these bits? The gameplay's solid.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fun. It's fine. But yeah, I'd like to see they've got this tech now as well in these games. Where you got a big bad following and chasing you around certain bits. It'd be cool to see that maybe implemented with what's the guy's name? The big trench coat guy at the start of the game.
Wesker?
No.
No, I know who you mean.
know who I
It's
mean.
been too long. Yeah.
He's a big enough and bad enough dude that he could just follow you around a few bits maybe and be creepy. But then is that a remake? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If they did that, I'd be like, well, that's not Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, but then Resident Evil 2 was a remake that had a lot of mix-up. That wasn't 1-to-1 faithful either, but was still a really good remake. It's
Only because I've only played Resident Evil. I played other Resident Evils, but the earliest one I played is 4. I've not played 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
And it's it's so beloved that I'm like,
I see what you mean. I guess
there's just that worry. That's just all it is. It's not that it's even a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like no one cared about Resident Evil 2 anymore until they remade it, right? People still have a lot of fun memories before. Yeah, I see what you mean.
I think another not concern. It's a concern I think Capcom should have as opposed to us. But Resident Evil 4, as good as Resident Evil 5 was, this is kind of the end of the beloved line. Like, they're not going to remake 5, surely.
I hope they do.
I don't think they
Resident
will.
Evil 5 is my favorite Resident Evil game.
Well, that's the thing, though. If they mix this one up, they could. Sorry, they could mix up 5 and make it better for what people liked about the previous.
That's
one.
what. Yeah, if it's like, because 5 has a lot of fun ideas, right? It's just
it's a completely different Resident Evil game.
Yeah. But if they use these as like a sort of unifying redo of the whole, what I'm blanking on the word of the series, a whole unified redo of the series, right? In the style of 2 remake, all the way up to maybe not 6, but I could see them doing 5 in that kind of style.
That's also the weird thing as well, which is if they end up redoing the whole series in this new kind of third-person, over-the-shoulder action camera, the first one doesn't really fit in anymore. So do you have to then, after you get to the end of this, go back
again
and remake number 1 again?
You could see them maybe capping it off with like a full-blown one complete redo, you know?
Yeah. I do
just
like
expand it like crazy and completely redo it.
I do think if they did have a Resident Evil 1 remake that was over the shoulder, and then this one comes out, Resident Evil 4, you could have a really good box set, almost like like a DVD box set, where it's like here is Resident Evil, like in its prime, remade. Yeah. That would be really sick. But yeah, this is coming out 2023. It did have a more specific date, but I can't remember what it is. It was early, like March 2023. It's going to be good. Let's move on to the next one. Had more information about Final Fantasy XVI.
Yes.
I don't have a lot to say about this. It still looks really cool.
Go
for it.
I was going to say, this one, to me, we saw a little bit of the combat that kind of looked like Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like, it looked very polished and very fun. But there was a big focus on this trailer about I think it was 6 primals. Like, even in the song, like, it could be a bit hard to hear if you like re-listen to it. They say like Ifrit, Shiva, Garuda, blah blah blah, and there seemed to be a big focus on like the summons fighting each other.
Yeah, Titan v Titan combat, or not Titan, but like summon v summon combat kind of thing.
Yeah, like, and it had like the fighting game bars up the top almost.
Yeah, that was very weird.
It seemed like pre-rendered cutscene battles though, so it was hard to tell what it was.
I bet there'll be in-game battles with just like a shitload of flair, right? Like, it's like an actual fight. You have to think and actually play, but there's cutscene-esque bits sprinkled all throughout to make it seem really cool.
Yeah.
I thought this looked really, really good. I like the idea of a more action-based game. I'll always take more action over turn-based. It's just the kind of games that I like. So
I like both. I wish they'd do like the Dragon Quest XI thing of like you can have like the action or the turn-based. Like Final Fantasy VII had a mode where it would kind of try to mimic turn-based, but not really.
Yeah. I mean,
I think they just need to take their stance. I think they've ditched turn-based, and if they have, they just need to commit to ditching it.
It's very clear now, at least in my eyes, that mainline Final Fantasy, as in numbered sequels, are not turn-based anymore.
Yeah.
It's like
I wish then they'd just admit that and go, because they keep like maybe half-assing it is the wrong word, but like you play 15 and it's like it's an action game, but you just press like one button,
Yeah.
And it's got some weird in-combat commands
but
as if you're also playing a turn-based at the same time.
But that's
and I'm like, just make an action game. That's what you guys want to do.
That's what I'm saying. Is that, and that looks like kind of what they're doing, where it's just like if you're dipping your toes into action and you're not sure whether or not to commit, just do it and make DMC with numbers.
Yeah, you can't make a turn-based action game, guys. Come on, it's not going to work.
You can try.
Just do one or the other.
All I ask is make DMC. Don't make Dark Souls, because those are two very different stylistic.
Oh yeah, you want a platinum action game.
They made Final Fantasy Dark Souls. It's called Stranger of Paradise.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, do that. Yeah,
leave your weird numbers in Neo Dark Souls-ish combat over there, and make Devil May Cry Final Fantasy over here. I'm fine with that. It's absolutely fine.
Even 7 Remake was like almost there, right? But it still had some weird stuff around the edges. I don't know. This is all from an outsider's perspective.
That
though.
kind
I'm
of
not a huge
that
fantasy guy.
makes me think of kind of FF7 Remake doing that. It's less to do with them being scared to like dip their toes into full action, and more they're just a bit worried to piss off a whole bunch of Final Fantasy VII fans.
Whatever.
Well, it's like they finally remade Final Fantasy VII. It is nothing like the original in any way, shape, or form, despite being a remake.
I suppose, yeah.
But yeah, you had Final Fantasy 16 news, release date 2023. Kind of sad. I thought it was going to be this year.
Yeah.
I was
Summer
so,
2023 as well.
yeah, I was so sure it was going to be this year, but alas. I think it's because I thought it was going to be this year because they came out and said at one point that it's close to being finished.
Close to done, yeah.
They've already said Didn't
you say sure thing this year last week?
I was so confident. They've said there's news that came out with this saying that Final Fantasy 16 is now playable from start to finish, and they're spending literally a year on polish.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Which I mean is understandable.
Yeah, no problems.
Yep.
Absolutely no
bad
problems.
game is bad forever. Good game, good something. Miyamoto, 2023.
A little sad that it is going to be so long, but I'm like, I'd rather that than it to be like a buggy game.
Yeah, it'll be good. I have faith it'll be decent. Next one, Street Fighter 6.
Yes.
Very excited for this.
Do you want us to just leave, Josh, while you
I'll
do this bit?
No, that was I streamed the other evening, and I was doing some art on stream, and Matt turned up and said, "How about Street Fighter 6?" And I think I talked to myself about Street Fighter 6 for like an hour.
You were doing some. I think you were doing an emote for me.
Yeah.
And then because I had the game muted
because I love you,
thinking
Steve. Yeah.
at the time. Thank you. But I just kept seeing you bring up Street Fighter stuff. I was like, wait, are you trying to say my imp should be in Street Fighter?
No. So Street Fighter 6 got a new trailer, and is also coming in 2023. I was kind of. If you watch our video of our reactions, I was kind of like tepid at the time. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, you were.
I don't know if I'm feeling this. Ever since that's happened, I've gone fully on board. I'm super excited now. It's some stuff to talk about. That's also happened. Is the entire roster of characters has been leaked.
The initial roster.
The initial roster. So that's a thing. I won't bring it up in case people care about spoilers because the initial roster is essentially this game's marketing up until 2023.
Oh, they're going to slowly drip one character.
They always do.
Yeah,
that's how fighting game marketing works, right? Is your game is reliant on its roster, so you drip feed the roster as you approach launch.
Not spoiling it, but it's just literally like the pictures and the names.
Yeah,
right?
so it's key art basically. So like like art renders that you'd see in like a concept art book.
Yeah, we still don't know what their moves or anything are.
Most of them are returning fighters. There's like two-thirds of that roster are returning. So it's like, Ryu does a fireball, who would have known kind of thing. But the whole lineup looks really good. They're jumping forward in time by the looks of things. So it's the first Street Fighter that's actually taking a big change to the lore of the game.
Yeah.
Because usually it's like, oh, this game, Street Fighter 5 is set a little bit before Street Fighter 3, so you can't go crazy with it, right? Because it doesn't make sense in terms of the timeline. But now you've got, there's a whole bunch of redesigns and just characters that look really different. Like in a trailer, Chun-Li looks visibly older. Ryu's a bit more gruff. I'm just really excited. It looks really good.
And wasn't there a returning mechanic that you were excited about as well?
So I won't go too much into it because it's a bit too in depth. But they've released a webpage talking about a lot of the mechanics and stuff in the game, and there's a mechanic called Drive, which is there's 5 different things you can do with your meter, which you get as you play the game, and one of them is parrying, which hasn't been in Street Fighter properly since Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and it's just a really hype mechanic, reading someone's move, blocking it, and then parrying and doing a move back. It's just exciting. It makes for good watching and good playing. That's back in. Very excited for that.
And speaking of watching, they also having like a commentator mode, right?
Yeah, they're doing some weird thing with live pre-scripted commentary from actual esports commentators. So, someone jumping, someone talking while you play, going like, "Oh, good poke. Oh, good punish." Blah blah blah, just stuff like that. Which the trailer makes it look quite cool, but it could, if they mess it up, it could be really bad and just something that you turn off.
Hit him with the jab.
Yeah,
This kind of stuff's been in like football games for ages, though.
Exactly.
And it works pretty
Yeah.
well. No
It's like-
reason it can't be here.
I
I want
mean,
it in all games.
it's Capcom's first attempt at it, so it could be horrifically jank. We'll see. I don't need someone doing the same line that I've jabbed successfully like 10 times in a match. But we'll see how it goes.
It would be kind of cool though if you like wake up Ultra someone.
Yeah.
And like the commentators react and be like, "The wake up Ultra!"
Well, they've already said stuff like so there's two commentators they announced. An English one, can't remember the guy's name, but he's a big commentator for like Street Fighter, and there's a Japanese guy as well. I don't know about Japanese commentators, but they've already committed and said that they're going to be subtitled in like 12 different languages as well.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah.
Wait, Will said that he wanted this for every game. So do you want this like in Animal Crossing? Like, oh god, he found the
Weirdly, Steve, Animal Crossing is the exact game I went to as well in my head. I wanted, aggressive commentators.
Aggressive commentator. He's planted the seed.
Oh my god, he found Raymond on the island. He's won the game.
You paid off your debt. Good job.
No, I think I'm shocked this hasn't, like, if you could buy a, like in Valorant, how they have finishing moves when you kill the last guy in a round. I'm shocked there hasn't been like a commentator version of that where you kill a guy and it's like some famous commentator giving like a random hype line or something.
I know that Dota 2 has commentator packs.
Oh, they have announcer packs. Yeah.
You can get like Rick from Rick and Morty. I don't know why he keeps coming up.
I got given the Adam Jensen from Deus Ex one for pre-ordering Deus Ex. And I was like, they're attacking your towers.
In what's it called? Heroes of the Storm, they do it, but they have to basically just the characters announcing it. But Smite and Paladins do this.
Well.
Yeah. Smite and Paladins do it, and they like have like their commentators and like famous personalities do it. But I remember in Paladins, I played and I got a VTuber actually.
Oh god!
I played just to get that one. So
no, I had a Total Biscuit in StarCraft 2.
Oh
that'd be sick. Yeah, I want more shit like that. That's a good idea.
But yeah, that's Street Fighter 6 looking sick. Last thing to say about that, they fixed the logo. New logo is really cool.
Yeah.
It kind of
it's not default.
It's not it's not default, but now it looks really cool. The like VI slides in from the side because obviously it's like Roman numerals for 6.
And then I see. Now I see it.
Yeah, imagine it's rotated, right? The VI slides in from the right, the top bit slams down, and then the whole thing rotates. And it's just they did it. They fixed it. Good job.
We're still in a Roman numeral stage, apparently, for every game. Pretty much.
Oh yeah,
apparently Roman numerals is the hippest.
I mean, they're
thing
cool. Like, what are you gonna? I shouldn't say that. That'll out me. But okay, I can't. Sorry. Cut all this.
Definitely keeping that in. Right,
that'll dox me for sure.
The Callisto Protocol is the last one I think is worth talking about.
Dead Space, woo!
Not Dead Space.
It's not Dead Space, but it is Dead Space. But it's not Dead Space.
Looks cool.
It looks really cool.
Undead Space?
Undead Space. We'll go with that.
I don't know, there's something there, yeah.
I hope it doesn't fall into the same trap as Back 4 Blood. You know, where it's like, this game was made by all the Left 4 Dead people.
Yeah,
and then it's shit.
It doesn't fall into the trap of being shit.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed it's in the category of not shit. But yeah, I thought I thought this trailer looked great. I said on your Discord, I was talking to a few people, Will, and I was saying if there's any game that you can just blatantly rip and copy, is Dead Space. Because no one's really doing it, and there's a big dead-shaped hole in my heart that I want to fill.
Well, they're doing Dead Space 1 remake, right?
They are, but it's a remake. I want a new one.
It's a remake. Yeah.
I've played Dead Space 1 to death. I think I finished it like 4 or 5 times, and I will play the remake again. But I want more. I want new. So, and this looks good. So, that was
That's
that
good.
one.
No gameplay yet, though. That's my only worry. Is games like this talk a big game, talk about big game about being remakes and faithful reimagines and stuff, and it's like, okay, but let's just see it. Okay.
It's kind of like, as long as it's a decent third-person shooter, they've kind of proven to me in the trailer that it's kind of got enough of the horror elements that I'm looking for, right?
Well, those Back 4 Blood trailers were
You're not
pretty
wrong.
good too.
You're not wrong. And that game was shit.
And that fell into the trap of being shit. Have you ever thought about consulting, Josh, for video game companies?
Yeah, we've made this new mechanic, Josh. What do you think?
Well, it's kind of shit.
It's shit.
Have you tried not being shit?
Yeah. I'll invoice you my £5,000 fee for this consultation. Yeah.
Rich.
Yeah, Callisto Protocol. Good stuff. What was the next news story? Oh, very light update on Dragon Age. But the new one has a name. It's called Dreadwolf.
Boo.
Why boo?
Boring name.
I'm just confused as to why it looks
cool name.
It looks neon and like crazy.
That's whatever about the title, but this color scheme, what's going on there?
I don't
Dragon
know.
Age?
Is my guy going to come out, like what they call like the little glow in the dark lights and like rave gear and
stuff for a rave? Yeah.
This looks modern, like it could be like Dragon Age, Dreadwolf, Cyberpunk.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a bit odd, but this.
Oh my god, a modern Dragon Age.
That's what.
No.
Yeah, just throw it in the bin. It's shit.
No, that's shit.
Yeah, you got
narrowly avoided a pitfall there.
You haven't got to pay me for that one. That's just a shit idea.
What number Dragon Age will this be? Because it doesn't have the number on it.
It'll be 4. Is that right?
4.
1. No, Origin. 2. Inquisition.
There's some expansions and stuff in there as well.
Oh, no one cares about expansion. Does anyone really still care about Dragon Age? There's like
I played them. I didn't get very far in Inquisition, but the previous ones were fun.
2 was horrible, right?
2 was really bad. Inquisition was okay, but it was that it started to get that BioWare thing of it's like almost an MMO with the amount of fetch quests and stuff you're doing.
I remember 2.
I don't know. I enjoyed Inquisition.
I think 2 was the one where they copy pasted a bunch of assets throughout the game, so it was really repetitive, and the dialogue and morality was completely stripped down.
Yeah.
Into yes, no, good, bad. What lane do you choose? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people's love for Dragon Age is still just on Origin, the first one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
people are still waiting for that proper Origin sequel. Yeah.
I'm surprised this is even being made. If this comes out and bombs, even if it's good and it bombs, that's it. This series is dead.
No, I don't think so. Because Dragon Age is
back.
A big enough name, same as Mass Effect, that they make a Dragon Age, it's bad. They'll be like, oh, okay, we're taking a break from Dragon Age. Then in 10 years, they'll release a teaser. 5 years, 10 years, they'll release a teaser, and everyone will be back on board again.
We'll see.
Because it has that one hit that everyone's waiting for the sequel to.
I'm personally not convinced, but
I'm not convinced either. I don't think this. Yeah. I have nothing to.
We'll loop back around.
As Steve would say, I'll wait for it to come on Game Pass.
Yeah.
That's where that game is.
Yeah, we'll loop back around to this on episode 521 when it's been about 10 years.
Yeah,
and we'll see if Dragon Age is in the shit bin or not.
Yeah.
Right, last few little bits. You've got. I won't play this trailer, but
I'm happy about this.
Sonic Frontiers. Can I play this? I'm just gonna play this. Fuck it.
Apparently, from what I've read, what people have said on Twitter and stuff, what I've seen, this is going in the shit bin as well.
This is so the first trailer.
They need Josh to come in.
It's shit. Well, no, because I gave a bad verdict for this at first. They first showed I think a 20-minute teaser, and I was like, this looks okay.
They first showed a 20-second teaser.
20-second teaser, sorry. And I was like, this could be okay. It was quick cut enough that I was like, my brain was like, whoa, instant reaction, open world Sonic, fine. But then they've gone more in depth and shown more, and it's just like, oh my god.
I had a really funny experience with this because you were out on Twitter and I was out for the day,
Yeah.
And I got back and I looked at my Twitter feed and it was like, Josh tweeted, "Hey, this new Sonic looks pretty good." And I'm like, wow, cool. They're making a cool Sonic game. Wow, good for them. And then I scroll my finger like once and Josh is like, "Oh, never mind, it's terrible."
Never mind, it's fucking awful.
Never mind.
Yeah, this game is blandest the game.
Yes.
Me.
So the key points, I tweeted about this. The key problems that stand out is, as Steve said, it's just horrifically bland. That's the main problem. It's just a lot of the physics and movement is just really weird. Like, as you can see in the screen now, if you're watching, he's like walking on the spot with his legs like sliding. There's scenes where he's running downhill and goes slower. He loses speed. It's just like weird things like that.
So this game, it looks like they've gone for the popular trend at the moment of trying to make everything Breath of the Wild. So this game looks like Sonic but Breath of the Wild, but it looks barren and empty.
There are random bits floating in the sky.
Yeah, there's just random like puzzle bits every here and there. It's like oh, good stuff. But yeah, the enemies the next day they showed off some combat. They looked boring and it looked tedious to fight. Like it was like you'd have to be like ages fighting.
Yeah, the camera is like zipping around whilst you're fighting, and it like gives you a headache.
The biggest egregious thing to me is that Sonic is known for having some really hype music, and the music in this is the calmest, quietest, like chillest thing. It's like no, with Sonic you have like the gotta go fast, and this is not it. And this is just. They need to scrap this game.
Everything
it
about
looks like a tech demo. That's
the thing.
Yeah,
the thing.
Unreal tech demo.
People. The meme that's going around about this is people are dubbing these trailers like quote unquote hire this guy because there'd be all the fan mods of Sonic in like an open world or whatever, fan projects.
Yeah.
And all the comments would always be like, "Oh my god, this looks okay. Hire this guy. Sega, what are you doing? Hire this guy." And people were talking about this like that.
Yeah, if this was made by one guy.
Yes.
Yeah, if this was made by one guy, so this is my like passion project of the last 10 years, we'd be like, this looks incredible.
Yeah.
This guy's got it, right? He doesn't have all the budget, but he knows. Yeah.
It's not even 10 years. You know what people are like? People have been styling and saying like, yeah, I made this in a couple of days and it looks better than I made this in Unity with pre-downloaded Sonic assets and it looks better than this.
I just don't know why they have taken Sonic in this route. Like people already have like discourse about Sonic being like, oh, there's the 3D Sonics and the 2D Sonics, to the point where they are now different characters. Like in some games, you have 2D Sonic that meets 3D Sonic, and they go off on an adventure. And the only good Sonic game to come out recently has been Sonic Mania, which was done by modders of the original Sonic. They hired modders to make their game, and that was great. And I just don't know why.
Well, every big hit new game now is open world. It's trend chasing.
Yeah.
I hope for Sonic fans that this is just like
get some help.
they've put this trailer out, but like it's nowhere near finished. Like
that's the weird thing is this is all this coverage is exclusive to IGN, and they're like, today we're revealing the open world, tomorrow we're revealing the gameplay, and that's fine, right? Because that's what IGN do. You know, it's not them making this game. It's the baffling like questions are, why do Sega think this is worth such a hype release? Yeah.
Why have they bought like 3 days of exclusivity with IGN just to
anyone? Oh my god! The worst thing I've just seen was that seagull.
No, watch. I tweeted about this. It comes down every time he boosts. So it comes down here, then he stops, then he speeds up again. Look, and then it comes again in a second. It's the seagull keeps coming up and down and up and down, and then there it is again. Look.
Who's the seagull? What's that? Is that a new character?
Oh, it's the new Sonic.
So we'll get onto IGN.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that
exclusive reveal.
The T-posing seagull, I might add.
T-posing seagull.
Oh yeah,
it's not flapping.
It's not flapping.
No,
it's Wing Gull all over again.
All right, you guys are getting a bit hung up on this fucking seagull.
I want that seagull to come down and poke my eyes out because this is awful looking at it.
Okay,
wow.
we're not.
I just think this looks visually it looks okay. It's just how barren it is. There's nothing.
I'm fed up of barren open world games. I'm like, no, give me an exciting world to explore. I don't want to explore this world. We've
literally just had Elden Ring.
I mean,
though.
Well,
I'm sorry.
You not wanting
to
explore this world has nothing to do with it being barren. It's just shit. It's just bad.
Elden Ring. There were notable landmarks that I wanted to explore. I wanted to explore an Elden Ring. This game, I'm just like, it just looks like you go from one puzzle to the next.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like this is just a shit trailer that's not ready.
Yeah.
Elden Ring is a fully fledged game.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. This game is not ready for any kind of public consumption.
Do you think this is going to be? They're going to be like, oh, this is not going to be in the game. Games don't upgrade massively in these days.
No.
That's what we're saying.
There's a certain genre of game which lends itself to like this kind of open world, right? This like Death Stranding has a kind of empty open world, and it's like thematically it's part of the game. Right? It's like, but that's not. I don't think of like, pleasant rainy plateaus when I think of Sonic. Like,
yeah, that's
not. It's like a complete wrong direction.
A lot of people have said, have said that the art direction is completely wrong. It's just like,
because open world Sonic makes complete sense to me. Like, what's the point of going super fast if you're always restricted to like a linear level sort of thing?
What's the first world of Sonic called? Where it's like
Green Hill Zone.
Green Hill Zone. An open world Sonic game should look like Green Hill Zone. It should be super saturated, really bright colors. Really poppin' music. And this looks like when you open Unreal Engine and it says, do you want to use like a default map to get yourself started and build a project on? And then they just put Sonic in it. Hilariously bad.
Why does Sonic keep getting to have another go? That's my...
mate, is this a Star Fox thing again?
I wasn't gonna, but now you bring it up. Yeah. Why does he get to keep
Actually, it is,
go?
yes.
Now it is, yeah.
I want to point out that Sonic, his entire design for the movie was changed after bad fan feedback. So, not outside the realm of possibility that this game just gets like not scrapped, but just like it's back in development for an unknown amount of time because we're remaking the whole thing basically.
It's just like, how out of touch are the developers that they put this together and they were like, let's hype this. We're putting our best foot forward here. Like, what? Guys, what is up?
It makes no sense.
I mean, but Ugly Sonic, like that's changing. Like, I know it's a lot of work, but that was just changing one part of the movie, and it was memed on. Like this, it just looks bad.
You say one part of the movie. That's the main CG character of the entire movie.
The only thing I'll say is the people that made the movie are not the people that made the game.
No, of course, no. But it's not. I'm not going to even say it's an equal amount of work, but it is still an insane amount of work.
Yeah, it's the insane amount of work, but it's not like they had to go reshoot the whole movie. This looks like they have to like redo the whole game. To me.
Why did he have the Pokemon Ranger, that monster?
That's a new.
Shut up, Sam. Oh, I saw the shadow for the seagull. There it is again. It's back.
Seagull.
He flapped. He did flap. Maybe it's not all bad.
Maybe there is hope.
I'm moving on. There's nothing left to say about Sonic.
Yeah, no.
Rest in peace. Last little bit. This is carrying on the tradition of Steve talking about something because he just adds stories 10 minutes before we go live.
Not 10 minutes. Go on, Steve. So for this one, it's a small story, but it's a bit worrying in general. Stadia users have had save game for, I think it's like Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon or something, one of those games. Their save data has disappeared, and it's like giving them new profiles, and it's more, and no one knows why it happened. Stadia have said they're looking into it, but it's more worrying just in general. Like, Stadia is like cloud gaming.
Yeah, it is 100% cloud gaming.
To have them randomly out of nowhere just lose save data for a game is like.
Has anyone got in contact with the players yet? All 7 of them?
I am shocked that Stadia is still running. That's my takeaway from this news story.
I have another joke. In the Venn diagram of Ghost Recon Breakpoint players and Stadia users. How many people do you think that is, ballpark? Like less than 10? More than 10?
The answer is 0, and it's an overlapping Venn diagram.
I was going to say, is it like this happened months ago and just nobody knows?
But it's just like worrying that like for cloud gaming, like they lost save data without anyone knowing, and it looks like they're probably not going to get it back. So I
don't think this is a worry for cloud gaming. I think
this
is just Stadia being and continuing to be an extremely poorly managed product.
I like the idea that they had to like add a bit more detail to a town in America on Google Maps, and the space that it took on their servers is just erased a bunch of save files.
They need to figure out. It needs to become a known issue, right? Because there will be that little bit of fear in the back of their mind, just like, but what if it was just a cloud issue?
Yeah, because like Stadia, I think I've heard like they're not doing too well. There's another news story like this week or last week, but it's just like, could you imagine like having one of your games that is like cloud based and like, you just lost your data, like maybe for like a JRPG or something that's a bit longer? Because I mean, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, it is like a game where you do care about your save, but
the most confusing thing to that for me is I imagined a lot of the Ghost Recon Breakpoint data would be server side for Ubisoft, because a lot of it's multiplayer stuff, right? It's like
this is apparently their profile has gone. It has been replaced with a new profile for that game.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's like Stadia's already like no one cares.
No one cares.
They promised a lot. They did not deliver.
Yeah, I think it is just a response to it. Just no one cares about Stadia. No one cares about cloud on Stadia. So it's just been poorly maintained, and that just happens. Not that I want to like diminish if you've lost your Ghost Recon Breakpoint save. I'd argue that's almost doing you a favor at this point, but so I can't help myself.
True. No,
Kick him while they're down.
I know. I don't want to like diminish. If you know,
I'm really sorry.
Save,
I'm really sorry you lost your 600-hour save, but come on.
Come on,
Stadia. Come on, man. I'll buy you an Xbox.
There you go. If you've been affected by this outage, reach out to BottlerWorks at I don't know, what are you, Gmail?
Yeah.
He'll buy you an Xbox.
Yeah, if you've been affected by this outage, then don't worry about it, because I won't read that email.
But yeah, I just thought it was like weird that like, they promised a lot and it's like, they just lost their data.
Yeah. I'm sorry for them. I legitimately, I thought Stadia had completely shut down.
So I think it is on the way out. I think I did see something about maybe it's like just gonna die soon, but
yeah, I feel kind of bad. Is Stadia legit some people's only option? Like,
that's really weird to me, because surely if you've got internet that can run that kind of thing well enough, then normally you're in either a position where you can buy a console, or you're in a wealthy area that has decent internet, I assume. I don't know.
Maybe it's just
a lot of presumptions coming from me here. I understand.
I can't.
Because I don't think even I can run cloud gaming.
No, I definitely can't. I can't use Stadia.
Yeah. So, that's all the news for the week. So we're all done for another week. Good job, everybody.
Woo, we made it.
Wait, we got releases.
Go on, Steve.
Okay, so for tomorrow, which will be the day after this is out, we've got Elder Scrolls High Isle, the Elder Scrolls Online High Isle, which is an expansion for that MMO.
Isle. God.
Hi Isle. I'm BottlerWorks.
I don't one MMO I don't really play, so I don't know, but it might be good.
What's wrong, Will?
The Elder Scrolls Isle.
What's wrong?
They didn't think that one through, did they? Maybe I've just been playing too much Sniper Elite recently.
Oh, this is really good. I can zoom in on this page, and it kind of breaks the art. You see how it's like?
Oh yeah.
The man stays the same, but he gets more JPEGy and the background. Carry on, Steve. I'm just having fun here.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's in this, but there's an expansion for that. On June 8th, we have The Cycle Frontier is being released.
Is this Tarkov, but in
This is
space?
Tarkov in space.
Starkov.
Tarkov.
No, wait, is that? I thought that was Marauders.
It's all the same.
It's all the same.
Yeah, 3 days
this
from
is
now,
the-
1 day after you see this podcast.
Yeah.
Mm.
Minus
that's
1,
gonna be-
add 2, divided by 3. If it's a Wednesday, you've gone too far.
I know a lot of people are hyped for this game, so
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'll
I'm gonna
play it.
try
I'll
out.
play this. Yeah.
it should be free to play. I believe. Maybe I don't know. I'm not sure.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is. Well, actually, I don't know that. I think it is, but
Let's
It
just make it.
says,
Let's
it
just,
says it is on Steam.
we'll just make it up.
Okay.
Because that's the thing with like Tarkov is it's paid. So
Josh will reimburse you. It's free to play. If not, contact Josh again.
Huh?
He'll buy you a Stadia.
I get a lot of emails this week.
But Tarkov is paid, so like being able to jump into this game, which is Tarkov-like, and it being free, if it is, would be quite interesting.
Oh yeah, this looks like a crazy Russian from Tarkov.
On
Yeah.
on June 10th, we have The Quarry being released.
Oh, not
that
Man
is
of Medan.
Yeah, the Dark Pictures anthology guys. So this is the one where it's like horror, like all the famous horror actors are in the game.
This is probably the wrong time to get into this 5 minutes before the end. But don't they have another Dark Pictures game to make?
They have announced
This is
5
this
of
is not
them.
the people. It's like those games, but it's not made by them. It's just Supermassive Games.
I thought
That is them, isn't it?
It is
Yeah,
them.
it's-
I'm an idiot. Carry on, my friend.
they have announced already 5 more additions to the Dark Pictures anthology. But yeah, this is a separate thing.
Because I was watching someone play through the last one. Is it House of Ash that you played
House of
recently?
Ashes, yeah.
And that one ends with a teaser for another Dark Pictures game.
Yeah, they're
but-
doing those. This is just a separate side project for them. But it's
Right. Okay. Okay.
basically similar gameplay, I would imagine. But that was going to be very good.
Weird to differentiate.
Well, I think
they do them. Whatever.
the Dark Pictures
what
game
you
have
want.
like a curator theme, and it's like they're kind of all in the same universe. This one, I assume, will be a different universe. Then also on June 10th, we have Mario Strikers Battle League.
Oh,
which
this is too many games.
this is the last one. This is the football Mario Strikers.
This was a great game, Mario Strikers, when it initially came out.
I think there's a
So-
demo for it out very soon. Like they're doing you for like 1 hour at set times a day, you can play it on Switch for free, like 4 or 5 times if you want to try it.
This feels like Morbius. Bear with me here.
Oh god,
It feels like a bunch of people asking for Mario Strikers, and then it's going to come out, and no one's actually going to buy it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there'll be the demo. The demo will get some action, but this is like Mario Tennis, Mario Golf. It's like
I was
if you like
just
football,
thinking of Mario Tennis. Yeah,
Oh, don't. Mario Strikers was a fantastic game.
it was a
though.
fantastic
Yeah,
game.
this is more like actiony sports rather than tennis and golf. So
Yeah,
this might be some people's allies, but this is Switch exclusive.
And this
Oh,
didn't
so it's
come
not
out already.
so it's not coming to
They-
PlayStation.
No, this is a. They have
Is it going to be on Epic?
Shut up. They have
Exclusive to
released
Epic Game Store.
2 versions of this in the past on like Wii and GameCube, I believe, and
Right.
it's
Okay.
now the Switch version.
I guess I watched it in a Nintendo Direct a while back and thought it was just out. I didn't.
I thought it was in a
No.
Sony Direct State of Play.
I will punch you.
I'm gonna.
Steve's gonna quit this podcast.
We trolled Steve to oblivion, and now he won't come
Do
back.
your own releases.
No, I'll come back. You guys won't be coming back though.
Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm wrapping this up. We're so done. Thank you for listening. As always, my name is Josh, aka BottlerWorks. You can find me on.
Almost forgot his own name. You
Almost
heard it.
forgot my own name. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter. I streamed the other day on Twitch, actually. So if you want to catch my
Did?
next stream in 2023, make sure you follow. Other than that, where can we find you, Will?
Hello, my name is Josh. Oh fuck. My name is Will. I'm Olive Meister. You can find me. I'm Olive Meister on everything.
Steve?
I'm Quikwix, QIKWIX on Twitch, Twitter, and yeah, I've got new Twitch panels, and you should come look because I've got fancy new artwork.
Oh, and Sam.
I'm Sam.
Oh, I still just Sam.
I'm still just Sam.
Do you want to shout out the email again?
Yeah, so if you want to buy any candles, you can find them at quikwix.com.
No.
Nice.
And any business emails for those candles, you can find them at the Game FourCast at gmail.com. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.